Hey, what's up, guys? It feels like I have been making a lot of these little editorial intro videos because I'm clearly a professional and have been doing this for more than 3 years now. What else could go wrong, huh? I forgot to clear my storage in StreamYard. So, what that means is that StreamYard stores your separate audio tracks. So, like each participant in a call, in a StreamYard call, has their own audio, which allows me to adjust the volume. And on this one, our storage was full, and I did not realize until we were all the way done with the episode. So I didn't even really have a recording stored. Luckily, I was live streaming it to YouTube for the Patreon members, so I was able to download it from YouTube. I've never had to do this before, so I'm not entirely sure how good the audio is going to be. I'm so sorry. I am making this video before I've edited anything or even seen the downloaded version from YouTube, so I have no idea what the quality is going to be necessarily. I'm going to do my best to try to keep it all vaguely understandable. Oh my god, I feel awful. So hopefully you like this episode. It was a ton of fun to make, and there was a lot of great conversations. So hopefully you find something to enjoy about it. Hopefully it won't really be that bad, because it didn't seem that bad while we were recording it. So please enjoy, and hopefully this never happens again. Back a little bit. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Files Podcast, the podcast that wastes hours of your life that you are never getting back. We are your co-hosts, Spencer, Gabe, and Sam, and we got a Creators Corner episode for you today, folks. We have Tyler here from TyReviews, an up-and-coming movie and TV show discussion channel on YouTube. So welcome to the show, Tyler. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Big congratulations on 1,000 subscribers, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Thanks. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, noticed that.
For sure. Yeah, you're actually not far behind us. You're probably, by the time this comes out, you will have hit 1,000. You're at like 980 something, I think.
Yeah, right before this, I'm checking like every minute. It feels like at this point I'm at like 982, and I'm like, please, I just want to hit that milestone. Then I can breathe.
You will. You will.
Okay, wait, I need to hit subscribe. I'll be the next one.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
For sure,
I think I forgot earlier because I did it on my TV and I don't know how to work any of that.
Right, on the TV it's harder too.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we will be doing the usual Creators Corner stuff today. But first, I'll just remind you that all of our social links, as well as Tyler's, are down in the description. You can reach out to us through Twitter or Discord, or join us on Patreon, where you get to watch these episodes live as we record them, participate in the chat, and see all the behind-the-scenes shenanigans that get edited out of the version that goes up to YouTube, like our patrons got to do today. So definitely check that out if that sounds interesting to you. But with that, let's hang out in the Creators Corner. And yeah, welcome to the show, Tyler. We're excited to have you on.
I'm very excited to be on here, especially because believe it or not, this is the first podcast I've ever been on.
Oh,
So-
sweet. Dude, awesome.
I don't know if you guys knew that, or it's
No,
just
I didn't know that.
but this is literally the first live. I haven't even done a live stream on my channel yet, so this is like
Oh yeah.
live thing.
Dude,
First
awesome.
people I've technically even interacted with in like the social space or whatever you want to call it. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool, dude.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah,
that is
so I don't mess up.
Uphill from here.
Really
because
cool.
We are the best.
We are the best.
yeah, you guys seem like the best.
It only goes down from here.
That's right.
The first impression, of course.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. So you've been doing this for about a year now, you said, right?
Yeah,
And that's really
sorry.
impressive. No, you're good. You're good. I was just saying that's impressive because it's taken us 3 years to get to 1,000 subscribers, and you're like quickly like charging up that hill, which I love to see. I guess I'll tell our viewers real quick how I found. I mean, you know how I found you, and we started talking and whatnot. But I'll tell the people watching. You know, you had kind of just shown up on my home screen on YouTube, or maybe I was looking for something specific and you popped up in the recommended videos. I forget, but it was just one of those things where it's like, oh, this thumbnail looks interesting, and like clicking on it and just kind of like randomly found your channel. And I was immediately so impressed with how you have a way of, you keep the energy very high and you have a continuous stream of consciousness in your videos, but it's not directionless. It's not like just like all over the place without a purpose. Like, I'm always really impressed with how you're able to like keep going and going and going and going, but you hit all of the proper points along the way that you need to hit in the video to keep the audience engaged. And I was like, wow, he's really good at doing like these one-shot videos. And from what I can tell, there's no, I mean, maybe here and there or something, but I haven't noticed any major like cuts or edits besides the green screen behind you. I haven't noticed any like major clips to you talking. And so I was like, wow, that's incredible. Or maybe they're just hidden really well. I don't know.
No, well, first of all, technically, that is like the first criticism that or like positive in the positive way that I've ever received on my channel, believe it or not.
Oh,
because technically, you know, I've had some friends tell me like, oh, hey, love the channel, but I really appreciate that. So, you know, I wanted to start off by saying that, but it's funny what you just said about the thing how you're like, oh, it took me 3 years to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm over here like maybe like a year and 3 months. I'm, you know, getting close. I am looking at other channels that, you know, in 3 days they're at 100,000 subscribers.
I know.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, what's going on? And then I see other channels where they've been making videos for 8 years and they have 500 subscribers. So I feel like everyone's at their different pace, but as long as you're just having fun with it, that's all that matters.
That's the key.
No,
as long as you're enjoying yourself and you like what you're doing and you're proud of what you're doing, that's all that matters.
No, exactly. That's the thing. No, but I feel like
I will say that it's all the cute blonde girls that are getting like 3,000 subscribers in a week. I've seen it happen.
You just gotta have that one thing about you or something.
Yeah.
Or you're just funny enough, or I don't know.
Right.
Like people who are doing it for fun because like this is what they enjoy and they just want to spread that love versus people who are doing it solely for a paycheck. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that plays a very big part.
Huge difference.
Yeah,
no,
how quickly some accounts grow.
Right. No, I feel like it's one of these things too where like what you just said, this has pretty much been like not as crazy, of course, but like another part-time job for me that I haven't really seen a dime from. But I just enjoy doing it, of course, because you know it's just fun, I guess. And it's one of these things too where like, I mean, I don't want to get into this too deeply, of course, but the reason I started my channel was just because my friends are like, you know, lightly into movies. My girlfriend's lightly into movies, and these are the people that are, you know, closest to me that I talk with. But at the same time, I feel like I was just getting so obsessed that I'm like, I need an outlet to just talk.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I honestly just wasn't like, I don't really feel like joining like a Discord group or something. I just want to like make videos because I feel like it's kind of fun to edit videos. Like you said, I know I don't have too many cuts or anything because I feel like I'm a fast talker and I'm just trying to go as fast as I can. But it's just one of those things where I was like, I need this outlet. And I mean, it's been pretty fun, but it definitely takes a lot of time and people don't really understand, you know? Especially like you said, when you're not really doing it for like money or you're just kind of enjoying it.
That's how I found Spencer and Gabe. I went on Twitter because I needed people who were as interested in fantasy books as I was.
Yeah.
And that's literally how we found each other.
That's why me and Spencer started. We used to, before we ever had a podcast, we'd read books and we'd talk on the phone for like literally 4 or 5 hours straight, almost every single day. Right. And Spencer's like, dude, we got to share this with people. This is like gold.
Right.
Like we should, you know. So that's cool,
man.
What,
I was actually just gonna ask you guys really quick if there's like a lore breakdown to the Fantasy Files, you know, group here. Like what is like a quick recap, I guess, you know, to catch me up.
Yeah, so I think basically the lore recap is that Gabe and I were working together. I owned a small construction company in Seattle, and Gabe was my friend and we were working together, and I would put these audiobooks on like the boombox
like
Bluetooth
his like
speaker.
like on your shoulder
Yeah.
boombox. He's walking to the job site with and sit
Yeah.
down and be like, "We're gonna listen to the Dresden Files today."
Right.
All
Yeah.
right, dude. Awesome.
And so we started doing that, and Gabe fell in love with that series in particular, the Dresden Files. And he read through all of them, and we were talking about them all the time. And then he read the Night Angel series, and we started talking about that. And then he read the Sight series, and it just kept going and going. And, you know, like Gabe said, I was kind of like, man, maybe we record this, because at the time I was listening to a lot of audiobooks, but I was also listening to a lot of like podcasts, like The Legendarium or Friends Talking Fantasy, these other podcasts that do a similar thing that we do. And I was like, I think we could do this. And so we tried it out. Our first few episodes were a complete dumpster fire.
I get that.
Yeah.
Really rough.
You gotta find your footing. You're rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
It probably took us like what 7 months, I would say, to get totally like kind of comfortable with everything.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah, it took time to get into a flow of like, how do we want these episodes to be organized? How do we want the like the visual appeal? Like we were not using StreamYard in the beginning, we were just using Zoom. And I was hand making these overlays that would go over each episode that had like backgrounds. And I'm so glad that I never ever have to do that again. And I was like, for every episode I was like making these, and then like of course like the thumbnail and everything else that you need to do. But it took a while to get the hang of editing. It took a while to get the hang of like just presenting yourself on camera, like doing that intro in one shot, like, what's up everybody, and just kind of like trying to like bring that.
The worst
part. I can't do it.
The worst part is starting.
Tries to get me to say stuff, and if it's scripted, I can't, dude. I just don't. I choke every time.
Same.
It's hard.
That was me.
Yeah.
Spencer's got it down. My favorite was when we did the second Loch Lamora, and he told everyone on the stream immediately, if you ruin anything for Sam about Sabbatha, I will make what happened to so-and-so. It's like child's play. And I was like, that is just... you can't like fake that. It's just a natural thing. You know what I mean? I was like, that was chef's kiss. Perfect.
I have a lot of fun with the intros. I used to keep them really boring, and it was like, okay, everybody shut up while I do the intro, and like I would rattle off this like canned intro that was the same for every episode. And now I'm like, please interject in the middle of an intro. Please just interject, and we'll have like a fluid thing. I like that a lot more. And it's led to more like captivating starts to the videos, I think. We've gone through, before Sam joined, we went through a couple different co-hosts, and one of them is still kind of around. He comes on like twice a year. He's just like really busy.
He's still like our really, really good buddy.
Yeah. Right. We're still in like a group chat with him, and we hang out for our Christmas episodes. He's always there.
He's always here, yeah.
Yeah.
Try not
to
that you have a separate group chat.
Sorry.
Sure, guys.
I mean, we'll add you if you have WhatsApp. But yeah, so then we had this other guy come on who is from Ireland, and then he moved to Australia, and just like a bunch of things happened with him, and he kind of fell off. And so then it was just recently, like just a couple months ago, that we were talking to Sam about her coming on as a co-host, and it kind of led to where we are. Yeah.
Wow.
He's being kind. I was like, make me your co-host.
Yeah.
She's like, I've been on the show as a guest like 20 times. Like, can I please be a fucking co-host now? It's like, okay.
That's
like,
great.
You have a real relationship at this point, guys. Like, come on.
But yeah, how did you start your channel? Or actually, first, I'm interested, since we were talking about it, we were talking about you not having a lot of like cuts, like besides the green screen and all that's happening behind you, there's not a lot of cuts to you. Are you just like making like a bullet point list of things you need to cover and just like going for it in one take, or how do you do that?
So some of my friends make fun of me just because I'm a fast talker, which you could probably hear, of course. And believe it or not, I mean, I don't know if you could tell in my videos, but I am not a stutterer, but it's just that my mouth is going 70 miles per hour and my brain is going like 65. Like it's right there, but it's just the mouth's going a little faster. It's like a slightly faster, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So the thing is, honestly, sometimes before my videos, I will just almost make the video in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this. But to be completely honest, I actually never really write notes. I kind of just start and I have an idea of like what my first point might be and what I kind of want to say from there.
Yeah.
And then I just hope that I hit them all. And then while I'm editing, I'm like, yes, I guess I kind of talked about what I talk about. So usually it works out, but like the thing is, I feel like sometimes I do need to definitely slow down. Talking, but
notes from watching your videos was when I wrote down literally in my notes app when I was doing it. I went, "Oh my god!" For the first time, I don't feel like I need to put something on 2x.
Oh
yeah.
Like,
thank you. That always frustrates me. Yeah.
Yeah.
They make fun of me because I listen to my audiobooks at 2.4x, and I'm like,
wow,
you don't understand.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
My brain, if you give me anything slower, will drift off because I'm already going a million miles a minute. I need something equally paced or I'm going to get distracted. And I wrote down from watching your videos, I went, oh my God, I feel seen. Somebody Somebody
this is going.
Yeah.
Literally, I feel like we're like soulmates in this sense where we are fast talkers. Our brain is going faster than our mouth can spit it out, but we have good points. We have
I'm just like praying to hit all my points and while I'm going, because also something in the back of my head is like, it's not really a lazy thing, but I'm just like, I just don't feel like editing because I kind of like the uncut rant style, but like keeping it pretty, you know, in a linear path, I guess you could say. You know, you're kind of bouncing around, you're still staying close to the path at least, you know. But no, definitely. Like there are cuts in my videos, but I used to edit a lot more, but then I'm just like, you know what? People don't really mind that much, I've noticed.
I think I haven't. Aspect of you know, being a lot more natural and a lot more raw, because I mean, real people, they have pauses and they have thoughts and they have tangents. It's just how the world works. So it's it's cool to see that instead of, you know, just very clean chopped off editing or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Right.
Spencer and I even talked about that, where you were like, Sam, you're really good at like the off the cuff and like you don't really like take notes, and you had talked about how like you struggled with like needing the notes initially and like stepping away from that format. So like we've had very similar discussions.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that because I'm on the far other end of the spectrum from you guys, where if you like the 30-minute videos I make where I'm like reviewing a book and it's just me in front of a camera or whatever, if you were to see that raw footage, you would be like, what the fuck is this? Like it is so weird. I'm so glad that I don't have to like share that raw footage with anybody, because there's times where I'm like, I write a script, or sometimes I'll write like very detailed like bullet points, and I like need that to remember everything that I wanted to say, because I just can't keep it up here like at all. And so I need something like visually to look at that allows me to like spark whatever that connection is in my brain. And in my raw footage, it'll be like, I'll be like talking in mid-sentence, I'll be like, no, fuck that. And I'll like say that out loud, and I'll be like, and I'll like go back and I'll like try it again until I get like the perfect like flow to it that I want. And there's even times in the video where I'm like doing it and I say out loud, sorry, future Spencer, and like go back and like redo it.
You should clip some of those moments and send them to me. I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Yeah, and then there's also like long pauses, because like I'll be following the script and then I'll realize that the sentence sounded good in my head when I wrote it out, but saying it out loud, they don't really connect that well. And so I'll need to pause, and I don't stop the recording. I just like sit there and I'm like typing on my keyboard. So it's just me like looking into the eye of my camera for 10 minutes while I fix my paragraph. But yeah, I that's really, really impressive that you're able to like go and it's able to come out so cleanly. Because that was honestly, like that was what made me hit subscribe on your channel. I was like, man, this is really cool how he's able to do this all in one take. And that is just going to make your life so much easier as a YouTuber. Like it's just going to make you not want to like end yourself. Like
No,
it is.
thank you. I appreciate
Oh my
that.
God.
The one thing I've got to say though, that we just lightly touched on before, I'm trying to remember if it was before we actually started recording, but like you were saying, I feel like, the mouth, it's like all right, my brain is a fast car, I'm going, but starting that car with the intro can really just be so difficult sometimes. Like I could be recording a 10-minute video, but it literally just for some reason takes me 10 minutes just to start that 10 intro. And it's like I just have to keep going. I don't know why. If you're a little anxious, you're like, oh, what am I gonna say?
That's my problem, man. It's just anxiety, dude.
That's what honestly, I don't want to admit it, but that's what it is. Yeah.
There's times where Spencer like will have me like he doesn't do it anymore because I'm so bad at it, but he would have me he'd like, all right, Gabe, I highlighted your part of the thing in red. And I couldn't say it normal, dude. Like I just could never get it out sounding like a normal person.
I'm happy about a load. Yeah.
I was so worried about,
It's like I did my mom got married like a month ago, and I had to do the speech. I was the matron of honor, and I wrote down like basically what I wanted to say, and I got 3 lines into it as I was giving it to everyone, and I realized like, oh, I can't read this. Like I know like I can't sit here and read this. I have to just like say it from the heart. I
throw that paper away. You gotta go off the top now.
They probably love that.
It's probably better for it,
Dramatic effect.
Yeah. You see me look at it and go, okay, and just like go into the engine. But my brain gets too messed up if I have to like read something and then like say it. I am just so much better off the cuff. Like it's just natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. So I wanted to ask you about your green screen because this is what Gabe and I started doing. I haven't used my green screen for a while because I kind of made my background like nice and I'm trying to add to it.
Good, yeah.
And I had a green screen behind me. Matter of fact, it's like right there. There's this stand for my green screen. I was using that for a while, and I had like either clips behind me or just like a background of some kind. And I really liked doing it, especially if I was talking about like a TV show or something, because then I could put like clips from it behind me and whatnot. For me, it became a little bit of a chore to like get it to be like perfectly chroma keyed in Premiere. I don't know. What editing software do you use? Do you use Premiere?
Oh, I'm a Premiere Pro user, yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. So yeah, I would have to go through all this stuff to get it to work, and I had to build a frame for it to get the green screen to like stretch like tight.
Stretch. Don't even get me started. I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I still deal with that.
So I'm like, I want to start using a green screen again, but I want to get one of the ones that pull up like a projector screen that sit behind me, because then it's like it's stretched out, it's totally flat. I would love to do it again. But I'm curious, like what was it for you that made you want to do the green screen thing? Was that just like, oh, this looks really fun? And
I think it actually starts kind of at like the origin of my channel, because the funny thing is, one of the other reasons that I guess I started my channel is just because, I was watching other film YouTubers, and most of the YouTubers that I liked actually didn't have a green screen. Like they had pretty much just like your backgrounds, like normal setups.
Right.
But I was kind of thinking, I'm like, let's just say that someone's getting bored of what I'm saying, or if I'm just sitting in a room and they're just looking at me. Because for my first couple of videos, I didn't have a green screen, but I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, maybe if they could just watch what's behind me, like a trailer, And
Like
it almost sounds like that
TikTok
thing where it's like, oh, if they're bored, they could just like watch Subway Surfers behind me. But that's what it reminds me of. It's like, okay, if I'm playing the Deadpool trailer behind me, it's cool to look at while I'm talking. So they could like look at me back and forth. But also I'm thinking like I'd have to rearrange my room in a way where like I'd have stuff pretty far behind me that looks cool and it's perfectly set up, while still keeping everything organized. So it would have been a little bit difficult. Also, something I forgot to mention that's arguably the most important point. I'm a college student, so I'm going to college, I'm coming home. College, coming home.
Right.
Nobody
Right.
will ever know where I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah.
they're gonna hunt me down, but I just mean like I can record at my normal home.
Yep.
I can record at college. It's the same thing. If I have my
Right.
mic, if I have my
That's a good
phone
point.
stand, that's all I need. So I have a green screen in my house now that I've like pinned to the wall. So
Yep.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to stretch it out as good as I can, but that's another
Yeah.
thing where I have that consistency, I guess you could say, where when you click on my videos, you're expecting a green screen, like kind
Right.
of what you're getting every time, I
Yep.
guess. So
Yeah, for
Cool,
sure.
man.
That's
Awesome.
that's
Nice.
awesome.
sorry, I was trying not to rant there for too long, but
No, you're good,
No,
dude.
you're great.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so I want to talk a little bit more about green screen. You brought up a good point, Tyler, where you were like it like hides like where you are and like, and I think that's so important for just being on the internet in general. Like that's
Mhm.
something that I've learned over the past couple years is, we've never been like stalked or anything,
Right.
but there's a couple of YouTubers that I know that have had people like find out, vaguely where they live, and it becomes like this huge problem.
right.
And I think it's important to not that people seeing my bedroom or whatever would be able to tell people where I am, but I think it's a good part of internet safety, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, definitely. I actually feel like that's also like another pro. Like I think of it like, oh, I'm a smaller YouTuber, but like there is that small sense of privacy because I feel like usually when people just click your videos, they just see the title, the thumbnail, they like it, they see what you say, and then they're on their way. They don't even subscribe, which is fine. Like I don't really care about that. But of course,
Mhm.
they're gonna subscribe, they're gonna keep watching you, whatever. And I mean, to be like completely honest, if you just were to go in my description, click my Instagram, which is public, you could probably just figure out a lot about me. It's not like
Right, yeah, that's
like,
true.
or even if you like just looked up my full name, I don't know, you'd probably find out a good amount. But it's just like one of these things where as long as you don't promote it, no one's really gonna go looking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
like,
Yeah, I
feel like
definitely
that's
heard
the
that
thing.
there's a point where like your viewership or like the amount of viewers you have like changes that whole perspective. Because
Mhm.
again,
Mhm.
like we've heard horror stories about accounts of even people with like 10, 15, 20,000 subscribers like being hacked like maliciously, right? Because
Yeah.
somebody didn't like their content or whatever else, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's just a weird thing to think about, like because
Mhm.
nobody wants to be targeted by shit like that. Like
No,
that's not a
definitely.
Yeah,
fun thing
and
to think about.
And it's so shitty that it happens in the YouTube space
Yeah.
too, because like we're all here to have fun. We're all just here to like talk, and like we wanna connect with the community, but not in like just like some people just go so far. There was this guy, Luke Stevens. I watch a lot of his videos, and he does gaming content. And he has had this stalker issue for the past like 3 years or something. This guy, Luke had gotten early access to Starfield, and like through the company, they sent him like an early copy for review. And people were trying to hack into his system to get footage of the game before it was released. It was like this huge thing. And then he had another person SWAT him. Like,
Yeah,
do you guys know what that is?
I know
Yeah.
exactly what that is,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That
And
sucks.
yeah, it was crazy. It was like he was on stream when it happened, and I was watching the live stream.
Oh.
And
Crazy.
then he kind of like, it happened, and he like shut the stream down, and then he made another video later kind of explaining what the rest of the night looked like. And it's scary. It's like it's
Yeah,
really
because
really
there's
trippy.
people that die in those situations too. Like,
Yeah.
people think it's funny, right? But
Yeah.
when you get 30 SWAT guys pointing rifles at you, like
Yeah.
even if you are not intentional, but you move wrong, there's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, you're done,
Yeah.
dude.
Especially
Yeah,
depending on
it's-
what they said on the phone. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
People should
exactly.
be-
Exactly.
I wish there was like, and maybe there is, maybe I don't know, but I feel like there should be like a task force that's like just dedicated to finding these people because that should be a felony, dude. It should be like a
Yeah.
Oh
huge-
yeah.
or maybe it is. It could be.
I think
don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure it is. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
if you don't get caught, it's like
documentaries, and one I watched was called The Most Hated Man on the Internet, and he had hosted this website called Up All Night or Up at Night, something like that, and it was basically a revenge site where people would submit photos that had been sent to them when they were with someone and now they were not and whatnot. And he eventually got convicted for hacking into emails of the people spoke out against him and releasing things that he had found in their emails and whatnot. But no, there are crazy people out there. Very, very unhinged people who have nothing better to do with their time than
and it's sad that the police haven't really figured out, at least from every like streamer that I've seen that this has happened to, the police haven't really figured out a good way to deal with it because they have to take every call seriously. They can't just say, oh, it's probably like a swatting incident or somebody's trying to like mess with them.
Of course
they can't like take that risk, and so they have to take it seriously every time. And so I know YouTubers where it's happened like 2 or 3 times in a row, and eventually, you know, it happens the first time and it's like this big thing, and then it happens the second time and the police come back with like less guys, and they kind of know like, well, we were just here a couple weeks ago. And so like it definitely it feels weird to say that it gets easier, but
and I know that they can trace really any phone call. A lot of them call from like pay phones or anonymous phones, but they can still track where that call came from each time it's made. So it's like, you know, if the call came from the same payphone, I would go sit and watch that payphone.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, crazy people out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to the Creators Corner. We go on tangents sometimes.
Wasn't even thinking about that.
Oh man. Let's talk about let's see. Have you What's that?
Said Marvel, maybe?
Let's.
I'm ready to talk about Deadpool. I went and saw it last night.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay, all right, let's go straight into Deadpool. Let's talk about it. No spoilers. Everybody be super careful. No spoilers. Sam has not seen it.
Okay, I'll be a little more reserved.
Yeah. Yes. But oh my god, if I can just say this real quick because I think it'll all shock you. So you guys know that I am not a fan of Marvel movies, or at least I haven't been since Endgame. To me, like, Endgame is where the Marvel movies ended, and I have not really enjoyed a single one since then. Besides, Gabe and I went and saw, or was it with you, Gabe? Did we go and see the newest Spider-Man movie?
Way Home, yeah.
No, where the three, where they all...
that was you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so I liked that one, but every other one I've just been like, God, this is awful. Like, I just haven't enjoyed any of them. And so, you know, with Deadpool getting acquired by, or I don't know exactly how this worked, I'm not too familiar with it, but he was with Fox, right? Or Sony or whatever. Yeah. And then Disney, I assume, brought him into the MCU. And I was thinking, man, is Deadpool 3 going to be all like Disney-fied and it's just going to be awful like the other ones? Like, I just was not like feeling good about it for a long time, but I didn't watch any of the trailers. I saw the first teaser trailer and I didn't see any of the other ones.
So that. Yeah.
I was not spoiled in any way. And I was like, well, Tyler's coming on Sunday. I'm like, I'm going to go see it. I saw it last night, so Saturday night. And I'm just going to like see how it goes. Like it'll probably be fine. Guys, I walked out of this movie theater saying that was the best goddamn movie I've seen in years.
Yeah, dude.
Years.
Wow. Yep.
Like it is like it might go on to be like one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. I loved this movie so much. It definitely had its issues. Like there was definitely like a couple things where I'm like, okay, but I walked out of there so incredibly happy and satisfied. The whole thing was hilarious. I have not laughed that hard in so long. There was a lady sitting right next to me. The theater was packed, and I live in like a small town. Like nobody goes to this theater. The whole place was packed out, and I got this seat next to this lady, and we started watching the movie, and it is just joke after joke after joke after joke.
Hilarious.
And we're laughing so fucking hard. Eventually, she and I like turn to each other like every time a joke comes up.
Give me a hug,
and we're like, and she like slapped me on the back on one of them.
Awesome.
And so we started like hitting each other every time like a super funny joke would happen.
Kind of fight, dude. Just
And
happiness.
I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is such a cool event. And when the movie ended, people like stood up and like clapped, and everybody was crying during the credits. Like, oh my God, it was such an experience that I don't feel like I haven't felt that way since something like Endgame. You know, like I haven't like enjoyed a superhero movie like that in so long. And I really liked the new Batman movie, but it's not the same as like Deadpool. Like Deadpool and Wolverine was just like 10 out of 10. I almost have nothing bad to say about it, but I'll let you guys go for a bit.
Spacey Nova says, "Hey,
what up, Nova?"
Hey.
Okay,
Gabe, would you like to go next? Or
yeah. So I had kind of an interesting experience in this movie theater. The movie, just like Spencer said, was hilarious. I was like, some of the joke. It was by far the raunchiest like Deadpool that I've seen, or any
like,
other.
how do you think
it's like,
of that?
How did you pull this off?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what happened behind the scenes to make this work, but it was incredible.
Right. Yeah.
But we had, dude, there was a full blown fight that broke out 2 aisles behind us, like a brawl. Yeah, police officers came and tackled people
in the middle of the movie.
in the middle of the movie. Yeah. And so like, Leah was like sitting in the middle, and it was right behind us. So I grabbed her and I booked it down, down the stairs to get away from it. And they were just screaming and hollering and going at it. Cops showed up. They paused the movie, pulled everybody out, out, and then the movie theater person came out and was like, "I'm so sorry. Like, that guy was either on drugs or really drunk, or we don't know what was going on." But there was some dude that was like a homeless guy aggressor that was, just causing problems. But they're like, "We're gonna restart the movie. Well, not restart it, but we're gonna reset it back before this happened, and then we'll continue it." And they also comped everybody like some, we all got popcorn or something. I don't know.
That's nice.
Oh, cool.
How far into the movie did that happen?
Probably like 50 minutes, I would say.
Okay.
Like almost an hour, because the movie's 2.5 hours, I think, just shy of 2.5.
I think it's 2 hours and 8 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm
minutes.
just such a nerd with this more.
No, it's
Actually, it's 2 hours and 8 minutes. No, but
yeah.
You sound like my 7-year-old. I'm like, it's 8 p.m. He's like, no, it's 8:02, Mom. And I'm like, okay, and
but yeah, dude, it was awesome, man. It was besides like it was still
besides
really
the
cool.
fight.
Same feeling.
So
walked out
crazy.
of there just feeling like, dude, this is
really
sparks my like. I love all Marvel, but this was like 4 steps
special.
above what they put out.
Would you say it's like worthy of me going to the theater when I never ever?
Yes.
Last time I went to the theater was for Oppenheimer, and before that, I truly cannot even remember the time I went to the theater.
Oppenheimer.
No,
is
you
awesome,
should.
But you would enjoy this more in theaters.
Yeah, you should go see it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I love Deadpool because he is my sarcastic persona.
Yeah.
There is no better representation of if I was a superhero and the asshole that I am. Like, absolutely, Deadpool is like very on par for that. Okay.
Yeah, you should see it as soon as possible, especially so you don't get spoiled, because there's a lot of really cool things that happen that you wouldn't want to know going.
It's a pretty like meta movie when you think about it. Dude. There's a lot going on.
I have been very offline for the last few months in the sense of, like, things to be ruined for me are just kind of not possible because I'm not like online for them to be ruined for me.
Yeah.
But I really want to see this movie. So
yeah, you should.
It's definitely worth it.
I just rewatched Deadpool 1 and 2, and Ty watched a ton of your movies, and I have a lot of comments on my agreements with Toy Story.
I'm very excited to hear.
Shrek 5. I have a lot of thoughts, but I agree with you on all of them, and I definitely want to bring that up too. But okay, if you're saying I need to go see the new Deadpool movie in theaters and not wait for it to be online, I'll go do it.
Yeah. Initially, I was thinking, because initially I wasn't even going to go see it in theater. I was like, I'll wait until it's on like a streaming service of some kind. And then I was like, screw it. Like, I'll go see it, whatever. And I'm so glad that I saw it in the movie theater. Like, it made it so much more special. Like
it's just hard for me because like me and my husband, we don't have any days off together. Like he has Tuesday, Wednesday, I have Saturday, Sunday, and it's very hard for us to schedule anything. But this is one of the rare movies where I'd be like, I want to see this in theater. Like I want to see this in theater. Like I said, Oppenheimer was the first movie I'd seen in a theater in like 2 or 3 years. It was a very long time. And like, I love Marvel movies. I am a Marvel obsessed person. Like Guardians are some of my favorite movies. I love 10 Rings. That's one of my top 5 movies.
Very underrated.
Very underrated, but very hilarious. And I really hate how people shit on it, where I'm like, sure, if it doesn't
it's an awesome movie.
Hotline, it's hilarious. Like,
no, definitely.
Who cares? You know, look at Thunder of whatever from the last Thor movie. Like,
Love and Thunder.
No, not going through with all of this, like, oh, they have this established precedent, so we're just going to continue to push it on consumers, where instead, like, let's go with what's actually gaining like traction and people are reacting to and want to discuss. And I thought 10 Rings was top of the charts for that.
I think I'll take it from here.
Go for it.
Work through what you guys were saying, because I think you all said some interesting points. So I'll try to take it back to what Spencer first said, which I feel like is one of the most important things. He said that, you know, since Endgame, nobody, you know, well, not nobody, but because I was going to say, oh, nobody's been watching Marvel movies, but some of them have been making so much money. But the reality is a lot of people are saying with Endgame, Marvel's done, except I saw No Way Home, which I feel like a lot of people did, because is Toby and Andrew going to be in it, right? A lot of people said that, of course. That was my most anticipated film of all time. I mean, the way it is with, you know, kind of bringing it back also into like the content creator corner here. You know, my channel, I love talking about movies, but of course, Marvel is like my main thing, just because I know the most about it also. So when you're knowledgeable about something, it's just, you want to talk about it more, and because you love it, you're more interested. But Deadpool and Wolverine the past couple of months, I mean, the amount of videos I've been making, I'm almost like sick to my stomach. And like Spencer was also saying, how he was like, I'm going to wait till streaming to possibly see it, you know, potentially. I was pretty much driving to the theaters opening night 100 miles per hour.
Did you go see it Thursday at midnight?
I saw it Thursday at 7:15, and then I saw it the next night again in IMAX, which was also a pretty cool experience.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So I saw it twice just so that I could prepare for my spoiler review. Touching on what Gabe said also, theater etiquette has been getting so horrible since the pandemic. It's been getting really, really, really bad. And then also with what Sam was saying, like, some people, like, they just have a bunch of different reactions to different Marvel movies ever since Endgame. Some people love certain movies, some people don't like others, but it's just hit or miss for everyone, it feels like. But this is why Deadpool was just so unbelievably important, because it feels like everyone was so excited for this movie, and it pretty much delivered on what everyone was looking for. Because again, you know, it was Deadpool was pretty much acquired by Disney because of Fox, naturally. You know what? Now that we own him, let's just throw him into the MCU. Prior to the movie, we honestly didn't even know how he was going to be incorporated into the MCU. Everyone's assuming multiverse, this or that, right? And of course, I don't want to get into details, but it just becomes one of these things where everyone was actually satisfied with this film. It's going to make a lot of money, which, you know, Marvel has a ton of money, of course, but they still do want like that big hit to have everyone talking about how Marvel's back, you know? But at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this film. The only problem is that my expectations were just so high. Wait, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna ask, do you think Marvel is back with Deadpool coming out like this? Do you think that this marks kind of a new?
I thought I saw something about this movie saying that it's supposed to mark like MCU version 2, or like a new era of the MCU. Am I mistaken?
Phase 5 or 6 or something.
Phase 5 or something. I don't know what that means.
So the thing is, with this movie, we're still technically in Phase 5. They haven't really been like talking about the phases as of recently, but Ant-Man Quantumania in early 2023 started Phase 5. We haven't gotten into Phase 6 yet. I don't even know when Phase 6 is starting because they haven't really said it. I feel like they stopped talking about like the phases because they've just been getting so sidetracked worrying about actually making quality films, which I wish they would do instead.
Right.
But yeah, it just becomes one of these things where like,
did you like it?
Ant-Man Quantumania, in my opinion, is the worst movie in the MCU. And wait, can I just say this? It's just when I first watched it, I was like coping and I was like, this wasn't bad. Like this was okay. It didn't do some things that I wanted it to do. Then I started like honestly seeing other reactions from people, but not that I was influenced, but I was more just my eye was just opened to what like I was seeing. I rewatched it and I was like, wow, I can't believe how disappointed because of one thing that bothers me. Wasted potential that always kills me, and there was just certain decisions where I was like, oh, you know, things are bothering me, but I can understand why some people would like it. But
I liked Quantumania, but I also think like unless you loved Loki, like you weren't gonna love Quantumania, and I loved Loki. I
love Loki too. Yeah,
I really loved the Loki show. But I've always been very forgiving in a lot of when it comes to things where I'm like, I'm gonna take it for what it is. Like, I'm glad I have this, but like I've said, like I hated Thor Love and Thunder. You know, I was like, this is bullshit. Why are you giving me this? Like, this does not add anything to anything. But I did love Quantumania.
I'm happy you liked it. I really am. Like, I'm happy when people like movies that I don't like. Like, it makes me happy that you enjoyed it. It's just that, like, to me, it's just like, I don't know. It just didn't really work for me. But I guess
that's fair. Everybody's got different taste too. It's not nobody's.
No, definitely.
I think Gabe will agree with me in a way where like we're a lot more forgiving with things where we're like, okay, you know, like sure, like we're gonna go in this direction. Like,
yeah, that is true. I know what, like, because a lot of the MCU movies that like I've seen with Spencer or that Spencer's seen and I've seen, like, I think I noticed the things that he doesn't like about him, but I'm so like, I just love this franchise so much. I don't really care that there's like some bullshit moments, I guess. But I would consider that, I guess, well, not really a downfall, but kind of just like something that I'm blinded by per se, you know, because I'm not willing to look past the fact that it's Marvel. It's what I grew up in love with.
Right.
I think
I think for me, like the way and I know that I'm a little bit weird, but the way that I like enjoy things, like I enjoy taking something apart and like critiquing it. Like I love like even my favorite series, like my favorite book series or shows or whatever, like I like the for whatever reason the way that I enjoy it is by being critical of it. And sometimes that means like high praise, like being critical doesn't necessarily mean being negative. It just means looking at it with like a fine-tooth comb and looking at each of the individual parts.
Right.
And like sometimes I come away from something like Lies of Locke Lamora and I make a 30-minute video about it being a perfect masterpiece. And then other times I read Fourth Wing and make a 30-minute video about why everything's wrong with it. And so it just
talked for 3 hours about Fourth Wing. So I don't know how.
And it wasn't enough. I had to destroy it more. But I think that there is a part of me that can look at something and just like enjoy it for what it is. But I don't know, in recent years, I've found more, I don't know, I think maybe because everything is kind of, I workify everything. Like everything is, like even the podcast, like it's like a job to me. And so anytime I'm looking at something, I'm doing it with that kind of lens now. And I don't know if that started when we started the podcast or if it's just something that's always kind of been around.
Interesting. I feel like I'm the opposite. I'm just like, this is what I feel. Oh, context, whatever. Like, this is what it is. And I hate Thor, Love and Thunder, but I love these other really stupid Marvel movies. Other people consider stupid, you know? And it's just, did you enjoy it? Okay, enjoy it. I'm sorry, you know, did you not enjoy it? Okay, don't rewatch it. And I've had a ton where like I've watched them and I didn't enjoy it, so I didn't rewatch it, but I maybe rewatched it later and like enjoyed it much more later. But no, I do agree with you in the sense that I am a little more critical with Marvel movies, in the sense that like it's not as easy to win me over in loving what I'm watching because I expect more.
That's really understandable. I mean, one thing that I was thinking that all of you guys were saying too is how like sometimes it can be easy to overlook stuff in Marvel movies in a way. I feel like one of the main reasons has to be because of, you know, what some people refer to as like the MCU formula, how like all these movies are somewhat alike. At the end of the day, a lot of people forget that when these films are making $1 billion, $1.5 billion, $2 billion, only, and this might even be a high guess, 40% of those people are actual like Marvel MCU fans. The other 60% is the common term, of course, just general audiences. So they have to make these films structured because they're investments at the end of the day, of course. You know, I do appreciate the artistic value of them, right? But it's owned by Disney, one of the largest companies on earth. They need to make these films digestible. They need to make it so that when you pay that $17 ticket, because now tickets are so expensive, $20, $25 for IMAX, you need to go in as a normal person who just got off work, let's just say. Go in, you zone out for 2 hours, you watch the Marvel movie, you walk out and you say, the easiest thing to say, oh, I enjoyed that. That was fun. Okay, and then honestly, you forget about it because you're not a fan of the franchise. Whereas people like me, I'm sitting here making 4 videos about it and I've been here for months. But my ticket is worth just as much as those other people's. So at the end of the day, they have to try to make them digestible. Whereas like an indie film or an A24 film, they are just trying to really make the best movie possible. And don't get me wrong, I do think Marvel movies, like they try to make them good, you know, good storytelling, creative. But I just think like in the general scope,
totally,
you know, they have to try to make them
overdoing
acceptable.
it. Well, and
actually,
at the end of the day, man, it just comes down to the dollar. It's money. You know, exactly what you're saying. That what you were just saying is their formula to make that $1 billion and a half every movie.
It's true. And one thing that
dedicated fans are they losing in, you know, catering to the general.
I think that's the way it's always been, though. I mean, they've always kind of had that formula in place. Like, there's people that watch these movies and like us that really, really enjoy it and want to dive deeper and do research and learn more about why this is happening. But then there's other people like my wife or my parents that just watch the movie and they're like, dude, this is cool. I love superheroes. Like, it was awesome flying around and ninja swords and magic powers. How cool was that? I'm ready for the next one.
I'm like, how cool is this?
I think that like the greatest example of that too, with like especially general audiences, when Marvel had everyone just absolutely hooked, is when that MCU formula, which was working, you know, like we were saying before Endgame, the greatest example of that is the fact that Infinity War came out and Endgame came out. But in between those two movies, Captain Marvel came out, and Captain Marvel made $1 billion.
A lot of people say my life.
That movie's okay. You're not missing too much. But people were so excited, they were like, oh my God, we need to see what's going to go on in Endgame, so we have to watch Captain Marvel. The fact that that movie made $1 billion, I mean, at one point in time, they were literally like the greatest well-oiled machine in like film history. I mean, they just crossed $30 billion at the box office. I don't know if you saw that, but
I didn't see that. That's insane, though.
And one thing that I actually just want to mention really quick, sorry.
No, you're good, man.
One thing that really surprised me is that Deadpool Wolverine, it had a lot of hype. It's making a lot of money. I know that only us, Spencer and Gabe, have seen it, but I was watching this film thinking, wow, maybe it's just me, but like 75% of the jokes that Deadpool's making are very niche. And I don't know if it's just me, but like these are like deep cut X-Men jokes, who didn't get their own movie, what happened in this 2000 movie that nobody watched. Like, we're even just talking about the behind the scenes stuff. Oh, we're joking about Disney and we're joking about Fox. No spoilers, of course, but you know, we're just making really deep cut jokes. And I'm like, this is most of the movie, to the point where, and this is the last thing I'm going to say though, the point where I was in my IMAX theater, huge theater, Friday night, opening night, of course, where you think the biggest fans are going to be. For most of this movie, I was laughing. I was like having a good time. Most of the theater wasn't actually laughing because some of them were so funny. But I feel like people just didn't really understand them.
The joke.
My theater was the exact opposite.
Really? Okay, maybe it's just me then. But I was just thinking, I'm like, I can't believe this script honestly got approved. I'm just going to be honest. Like,
yes,
I loved it, but I am such a minority to where I understood 90% of the jokes. But
it felt like
how are general audiences going to like this? Maybe it's just me.
I'm not surprised.
No, it felt like perfect. It was like perfect fan service. Like it was just the right
movie.
Yeah. And the amount of times that they broke the fourth wall to tell jokes like that was the very first thing that stood out to me. I was like, it was weird. Almost every 4 minutes, dude, there was a joke where you'd either have to know the origin of that joke, or you ain't gonna get it. You're not gonna understand what's funny.
Or I loved the jokes that were like Deadpool coming up to Wolverine and he was like, "Welcome to the MCU. We're kind of at a low point." Like I love that. Yeah. And then like the whole like, "I am the Marvel Jesus. I'm gonna like resurrect the MCU." I'm like, dude, I love this so much.
Yeah. I don't know,
oh my god,
it's a generational thing at the same time. You know what I mean? Like.
True.
Well, so I
remember all stages and like was a very heavy part of like every single stage. And so like I loved Endgame and Infinity Wars. Like those are two of my favorite ones to go back to. I love Guardians. Like those are also like to me part of like the main storyline and whatnot. And I found trouble relating to the new generation.
Yeah, right. Well, I think this movie highlights our generation so well because like Tyler said, so many of the little jokes and stuff were about like the earlier movies, like and not just the MCU, but like superhero movies in general. And then also I'm not going to give anything away, but the credits, there is something that happens during the credits that made me cry because it was so it was so nostalgic for like early 2000s superhero movies.
And I love those X-Men
I'm like,
movies.
Damn, dude, it was so good.
I did a rewatch of Deadpool 1 and 2 before this, specifically for the stream, and one of the main things at the end of what was it, the second one? Oh my god, fuck.
Maybe the post-credit scene.
It's like my ADD where it's like, oh my god, I had a point to this, and I now cannot fucking remember what the hell I was getting to. No, there was like a whole split screen at the end of the second Deadpool movie that led to where he goes back and he brings
he brings everyone back to life.
He brings
because he gets Cable's thing. He gets Cable's little tool.
Yes. And so I'm interested to know if like that is what it's going to be for like the third movie, because especially with all the Comic-Con stuff going on right now, Robert Downey Jr. is brought back as Dr. Doom. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, you're getting into a topic that okay.
This is Comic-Con though. It's not like
I don't even have social media, and I've been seeing that all over.
Yes,
in the newspaper.
Is it pretty much like a different timeline where Robert Downey Jr. doesn't become an Iron Man and he like becomes the bad guy as Dr. Doom? I really want to know everyone's thoughts.
So here's the here's the video. I'll just kind of skip through this real quick. Or is it?
And potentially one of the more entertaining characters in
the Russo brothers there, of course.
Okay.
Very exciting.
How do you feel about the Russo brothers?
What'd you say? Sorry.
How do you feel about the Russo brothers?
I absolutely love it. I think it's the safest pick, especially that they've just been in this experimental era for 3 years. It hasn't worked. I'll be quick. People are making it like, this is Marvel like giving up because they're going back to the Russos. No, they're not. They're making a smart choice. Like a storyteller. Like these guys are expert storytellers in comic book films. They're 4 for 4. They have arguably the 4 best MCU movies. Let them go again. Let them take a crack at this. I don't want any more experimental stuff. Take this safe play if it means we're going to get an amazing.
Let them cook. Let them cook.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, let's I'll play this.
Okay.
I don't want to skip too far ahead.
Von Doom.
Oh, here it is.
Yep.
What a moment, dude. What a moment.
Unbelievable.
I love RDJ, dude. He's one of my favorite favorites of all time.
He knows he's a god.
My theory is that in an alternate timeline, he didn't become a good guy, and this is who he becomes.
This isn't from the comics either, which I've seen. I'm not a comic person whatsoever, but there isn't a comic where it's like, oh, hey, Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom.
Gotcha. This is all
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure. This is just something that they've came up with.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the responses have definitely been mixed, to say the least.
Yeah.
What are your opinions? I'd love to hear actually, like, simple yes or no. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
It's just hard to imagine, what we've known as Iron Man forever.
Yeah.
Who I've endeared dearly. He's my favorite movies to go back to.
I just don't want it to cheapen what he did in Endgame.
Exactly.
But did you watch the Loki show?
I haven't seen the Loki show.
That sounded dumb to me.
If you watch the Loki show, I feel like you could easily be like, okay, what if Iron Man didn't become who he was? He didn't find Pepper, whatever her name is, and get his life together. This is who he could have become. And that's what I think the plot line is going to be.
Like, well, it's going to have to be, right? Like, I don't know how else they would.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think the most important thing that a lot of people are overlooking is that, so they bring in the Russo brothers, right? Which I already talked about. Obviously, I just gave the general overview of why that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
They also brought back something that no one's really talking about. The same writers from Infinity War and Endgame. So you have the writers, same script, the directors. You're already pretty much set up to have a decent movie, at least, hopefully.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is insane news, right? No one's expecting this. This was actually on Twitter like a week and a half ago, but it was this rumor where it's like, yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah.
And then
this happened, and I was like,
dude.
what? But this is the thing. I think that's something that a lot of people aren't understanding. And listen, you could have like your opinion that this is a bad idea, but I think I've had time to like sit on it the past 24 hours or so.
Yeah.
It's one of these things where I think it just might be crazy enough to work for one reason. They definitely did not just call Robert Downey Jr. and say, hey, do you want to play Dr. Doom? And he said, okay. Then they said, okay, let's figure out a story. No. They said, we have our story. Now we're going to announce it. They definitely know what they're going to do. It's not like they cast him and it's like, oh, let's just figure it out now. They have their story. They talked with the Russo brothers because I don't know if you guys know this, but apparently Marvel just turned down the Russos. The Russos actually said, can we direct the next Avengers movie? And Marvel actually said no. But then I actually came back. So I don't know what was going on with that. But I'm pretty sure it's mostly confirmed. But yeah, so they definitely have an idea. It's not like they're just doing this for some type of cheap return. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Nice.
That's cool. The same kind of thing is happening with Dexter right now. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, I've heard about.
Yes, there's going to be a prequel.
Isn't there like a revival or something?
Yeah, there's like
not
Dexter Original Sin and then Dexter Revival or Resurrection.
Yeah, so there's the Original Sin, which is a prequel, and then this just got announced like at the Comic-Con. And everyone is like, holy fucking shit, because New Blood, the last season, ended. And we were all like, it's over. It's the end of an era. Like, Dexter is gone. Yeah. And then they talk in this article. I don't really want to spoil it for anybody, but they talk in this article about how Dexter could possibly be brought back. And I'll tell you what, it makes a lot of sense. And I'm like, let's fucking go, because this is like my favorite show of all time.
Wow.
And I love to see Michael C. Hall playing Dexter. And like I saw this today, like earlier today, and I was literally shaking with excitement, like literally shaking. And I'm like, dude, I can't believe we're back. I can't believe we're back. And so I was... Dude, I was so stoked, and they have
again. I'm good.
They have the original writers and stuff from the first 4 seasons, which are everybody's favorites. So they have original writers, original like directors. They got a hold, because Michael C. Hall said at the end of New Blood, he's like, I'm done with Dexter. Like it would take a lot to get me to come back for like any kind of reason.
So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so they went to Michael C. Hall with like a solid story. They said that they made this story, they figured out a way that they could make it work and tell like a really good story. And Michael C. Hall, I don't know if people know this generally about him, but he's an actor, but he's kind of like one of those like artist actors. Like he doesn't just take paychecks. Like he has to really believe in a project in order to like take it on. And you'll notice that he's not in a lot of like movies and stuff. He's done Dexter and he's done a couple other like art house movies, but that's because he like really cares about stories and cares about his craft. And so I believe that if he's coming back for this season, like it means that they showed him something amazing. And so I am so stoked. I was like tearing up earlier when I saw this. I was freaking out.
Really quickly, because I have to go soon. I want to talk to Ty about these few things because I watched a bunch of your videos, and my 7-year-old was like super engrossed in all of your videos. He fucking loved them. But I was also engrossed in them. No, and this is not me saying like, oh, my 7-year-old. Like, no, I was also like, first of all, main thing was you speak very fast, which I also do. I very much appreciated. But I wanted to very quickly talk about how your video where you said like Shrek 5 and
Toy Story 5.
Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to Spencer about this before we went live on the stream, and I said, you know, I have this emotional connection to Toy Story and whatnot, and like they were a major point of my childhood, and to expect my child to immediately be receptive to the same thing as me, where like I'm excited to hear there's a Shrek 5 because like I frequently quote like, did you just fart? Like my mouth was open and everything. These are staples of my childhood.
Right.
Yeah.
To expect my child to feel the same way. So it's a very conflicted feeling where, do I think you should make another one? Maybe not. But at the same time, I think I'm going to also enjoy it because it's like this like staple of my childhood. But how can you really expect current children to be as appreciative of what we're seeing? And is it more for my benefit than it is my child's benefit?
Right.
It's a very conflicted feeling. But at the same time, I've always been someone who's like, okay, release a shitty version of something. Okay, whatever.
Right.
It's not affecting my wallet at the end of the day. Like, I go into it like I might enjoy this. Okay, and if I don't, whatever. Only Disney is hurting.
You would almost hope that Shrek 5 would be like a more adult like comedy to like gear towards that audience.
Go towards the people who have that like childhood attachment.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Sure. I think like one thing that people forget, and this is like just so huge, is that Pixar literally does not make children's movies. They don't make children's movies. They make movies that children can watch and that are targeted at children, but they're made for adults. If an adult watches Ratatouille, I don't think that a child is going to understand the restaurant business as well as an adult would on a basic level. If you know what I mean? Like these are concepts that people wouldn't understand. Well, if you're watching Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I don't know if you guys like enjoyed it.
I loved which Puss just came,
which just came from DreamWorks. Puss is having like, you know, an anxiety attack. There's death. The animation's phenomenal. There's great themes. These movies can be targeted at adults, and kids will enjoy them just as much because realistically, kids enjoy anything. And the best example of that is that unfortunately, every single Minions movie makes like $1 billion, and those are like fine in my opinion. Maybe, you know, maybe it's just me. I don't know.
I love the Minions movies. I love them.
No, I know, but I'm just saying they're not like, you know, those all-time great like animated films, like top tier Pixar.
So the fact that these movies don't do that well is just crazy to me because I'm not going to let my kid watch a movie. I'm that selfish unless I enjoy it. And I only enjoy the movies that embed that adult humor into them.
I think those are also like the best animated films. I mean, if you're an adult bringing your kid to the theater, you want the adult to be entertained technically, right? Because realistically,
Megamind,
kids, yes,
Megamind is so good.
Meta, like that's almost like an adult film, but animation obviously is a medium. It's not like a category. Like people forget it's not a genre. It's just a type of film, just like live action is. But like, yeah, it's targeted at kids, of course. But most of the jokes and stuff, they're for adults. Like, and it's not like they're dirty or anything. It's just that like they're just complicated, and
we can
like
both enjoy
more complex dialogue. Like, I think like one of the better examples of that also, like my favorite film of last year, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's literally a movie for 20-something-year-olds and everyone else. But I'm sure if you brought your kid there, they're going to be like, oh, wow, Miles Morales is swinging across the screen.
Yep.
But it has some of the greatest thematic, like, richness I've ever seen. Like, it's a phenomenal film, but since it's animated, it gets put in the kid category. It's like,
it makes you feel like you feel things when you watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in a way that, like, nothing else ever made me feel, and my 7-year-old still loves it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna put on. That's what I'm gonna put on to watch.
Especially when they're older, the nostalgia factor. So whatever you show them when they're younger, like that's also super key. So if you show them some good stuff when they're younger, especially when they get older and they're nostalgic for not like stupid movies, but also like really good movies, like Ratatouille or like that good Pixar. I just say Ratatouille because it's like my favorite pretty much, but like that's just that's really important.
All right, let's take a quick bathroom break. Sam, do you want to stay or do you gotta go?
Okay, I gotta go.
That's okay.
Okay,
so much fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, we need to talk again because I have so many prior videos in the best way ever, though, where you made me think of like, oh my God, like I need to reevaluate the way I looked at
it. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Great.
It's been a great time talking with you.
Let's talk soon, just like outside of all this. You know,
definitely,
awesome.
For sure.
I want to get your thoughts.
No, yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Okay.
I love you all. I'll talk to you soon.
See you.
All right, later. Oh, Nova wanted to know if you watched, or what did you think of WandaVision?
What did I think of WandaVision? WandaVision is, actually I was going to say, it's the first MCU show that I've ever watched, but WandaVision was actually coming out pretty much when I started to watch the MCU actually for the first time. Like, I have not been a fan of the MCU for long.
Oh, okay.
But I have been very committed for the past couple of years, to say the least. Like, I've done my due diligence, but I think that it's one of the better MCU shows. The only problem is, even the best MCU show, which in my opinion is Loki, I feel like they're just not really that great at the end of the day. But I mean, to keep it simple, I really do enjoy WandaVision. I just feel like it fell off a little bit with the finale. Yeah. But regardless, really enjoyed it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I thought it was a really creative idea to have like the decades, and like when it got to like Malcolm in the Middle, I was like, oh, that's my childhood.
Yeah.
Like,
I loved that. Like that was like the most creative, or one of the most like creative MCU projects at the time in a way. Like especially before they started to do the other shows, because like Loki was pretty creative, but I was like, wow, so it's like this mystery, what's going on? Like, it was pretty cool though. Definitely.
We're talking about WandaVision, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the Doctor Strange movie with
Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yeah, that's what made me wonder what happened with her with the Scarlet Witch stuff. Right, I don't think I watched all of WandaVision, but I started it. It's not that I didn't like it or anything. I just didn't have time or whatever else.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's understandable.
Yeah. Okay, so we have talked a lot about Marvel stuff and content creation and stuff. We can move on to some other topics here. I do want to talk about Harry Potter real quick because you're a fan of Harry Potter. You made a video recently where you were like, what? You were trying to look at it objectively, and you were like, what's the better franchise, Star Wars or Harry Potter?
Like, controversial.
Yeah, like what's had the most hits, what's had the most like low points, what's had like the best like soundtrack and all this stuff.
Right.
And I reached out and I was like, I really like the idea of this, of looking at two different franchises and trying to compare them and trying to figure out where each one's like strong suits are. And I'm just curious, how much blowback did you get for that video?
You know what's funny? This is the thing. I recorded that, right? I recorded that video. I was editing it, and I was just like, this is going to be one of these like more controversial videos that I make. Because I have 150 or so videos, and maybe I know what my most controversial video is, which I'll probably get to in a second. It's not like I did anything wrong. It's just like my opinion, of course. But I was like, this is going to be one of my most controversial videos. Just stating my opinion. And again, I was trying to be very respectful and objective because I love both these franchises. But I was like, I am going to get hate for this. But even bad publicity is good publicity. Like, I don't totally try to be like controversial. Like, I'm just like, I hate this or whatever for no reason. But I was like, hey, let's see what happens. And it was like mostly positive because I think that the algorithm put it on the Harry Potter side of things, if you know what I mean. Like,
right.
Or the neutral side. There wasn't too many Star Wars people in the comments. So
yeah, they were like, how dare you?
God, because Star Wars fandom right now is incredibly toxic. So if the wrong crowd started to sort of catch wind of this video, I think it would have been a pretty rough one for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I was watching it, and when do you mind if I spoil which one you picked?
Oh no, you know, of course.
Okay. Yeah, when you picked Harry Potter as the better franchise, I was like, man, I agree, but holy shit.
You know what the problem is? It's just obviously the number one issue. It's just iconicity because Star Wars is just Star Wars.
Iconic.
It's the name. Star Wars. Oh my God, nothing's better than Star Wars. Marvel maybe because it's also a big name.
Yeah.
But people forget, like, okay, let's just breathe, take a step back, compare both these franchises, which I did in an orderly fashion for a half hour, going over every single category basically, and also trying to make it even because what I did was, I mean, I know you probably watched the video, but I cut out the Star Wars shows and I also cut out the Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts movies. I just did the main Star Wars
series.
Yep. And I included like Rogue One and Solo because they're still films at least, and they're connected. And then the main Harry Potter films, because it's like comparing 11 to like 8, which I think is more than fair considering there's not that many franchises generally that are that close. And I was like, let's just take a look at this. So I feel like it's a pretty fair comparison. And I just feel like at the end of the day, you know, like I do like Harry Potter more, which I did say in the video to start. I'm like, listen, I want you guys to know this. I like Harry Potter
I like
more.
that.
But the way that Star Wars has just been on this downward spiral is just unbelievable, in my opinion. I still love Star Wars. Like, it's not my favorite franchise, but it's just one of these things where I'm like, at the end of the day, I think that it really is like the better franchise. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I really liked how in the video, you know, you were upfront with, hey, I'm just going to let you know I have a bias towards Harry Potter. Like, that's the way I lean, but I'm going to try to look at this objectively and really, you know, pull it apart and try to see what's the better franchise, because that's what I tend to do in my reviews as well. Like, even, you know, we have friends that are authors and sometimes they send us books that we review, and I let everybody know, hey, just right up front, like, this author is like a good friend of mine. It's probably going to influence my review. If you want to look at somebody else's review who isn't a friend of the author, I totally get that. And so I like that upfront honesty, because I think that's transparency.
Important. I figured that would help with the blowback as well, in case it did get to the wrong side. But another
That's
thing,
the problem with the internet, though, man. It's like no matter what, it'll always get there. There's always going to be people that are on that.
Sometimes there'll be a negative comment though that's very funny because it's honestly inoffensive and like
we get a lot of those.
But like usually what I'll do is I'll pin it.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah,
like, someone will just say something like, I'm trying to remember. Someone said like, bro, you need a haircut. And to me, that's so funny. Like, that's it's not like really like, oh my God, like,
it's not mean.
Yeah,
really, I know they were like, yo, you need a haircut.
Yeah,
And it was
right,
you're just
yeah.
not making light of it. You're like,
this
dude,
is funny.
sure, I'll need a haircut, but all good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, but
That's great.
I don't know.
How is that video been performing? Is it one of your better performing videos?
It performed decently for me. I mean, not to like break down my entire channel, of course, but I feel like the videos for me that are like flops, just to be transparent, of course, you know, maybe like 100 views, just based off of like what I've been seeing, like 100, 150 views. Sometimes it'll be even below 100, like below 100, and then it'll crawl to maybe 100 and change.
Yeah.
My average would like on a pretty solid day is maybe a couple hundred. It ranges. I don't even know what a couple hundred is, but 400 or 700, which is like really good. And then my bangers would be like a couple thousand. Like that's like a miracle. I think it's sitting at maybe like 430 or something like that, which I'm more than happy about. Like, I got in a couple comments, like, and I really enjoyed making the video. Like, that's one of the things where, of course, like if you make something that you're proud of, but like no one's seeing it, it's like, oh, that kind of sucks. But to me, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like, you know, I know that, of course, you know, like it says on YouTube statistics, like, you know, the average view time. So I know that not every single person watched the whole thing, but like just the fact that I know some people did watch the entire thing, that makes me happy. You know, I'm satisfied with that. Getting a couple comments maybe or something, like that's fine, you know.
The other thing too about
performer, but
and it's like the thing about YouTube is it'll, you know, if you continue to do your channel, if you continue to do what you like that video that only got 500 will always be there, right?
Yes.
And it's not like the views are going to go down, you know.
Right? Yeah, they only go
up. I get comments on old videos.
Years, this will be like their favorite video of all time. So that's a cool aspect of, I feel like, this platform is that. That
it's true. No, it's definitely true.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll go back to like page 1 or 2 of our like listings of videos in like the YouTube dashboard.
Our
and
worst
like your starting videos,
or just like not even the worst ones, but just like some of the early videos, and I'll look at them and be like, I wonder how much like the views have snowballed, and some of them are at like 6,000, 5,000. And I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, over 3 years of people like finding the video, it climbs.
About that,
it's really easy to, because on the dashboard, if people are unfamiliar, it's showing you the last like 25 videos, unless you set it to like 50 or 75 or whatever. But on a basic account, it's showing you 25 videos or so, and you can look at those and be like, oh man, this one only got like 56 views or something. Like that doesn't feel very good. But you forget that your videos in the past are still accumulating views.
Yeah.
Right.
And so some of them are just like cranking it up, and you have no idea because you're not looking back in your library.
You're not looking back far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other crazy fact about it too is like the power of sharing is huge. So what if, you know, one person that comes across your video like has quite the following and say, hey guys, check this out. And then all of a sudden you go from 6,000 to 60,000, and then you go from 60,000 to 600,000, right? That's how crazy the internet can like just blow up, you know?
Yeah.
Weird spots, weird places.
No, definitely. 100%.
And something that you'll experience here pretty soon, Tyler, is for some reason we were talking about this on one of our last episodes. There's something that happens in the algorithm once you cross that like 1,000 subscriber mark. YouTube is like, okay, we're gonna start shoving their channel out to everybody.
Oh, really?
And you'll just see those views like stack and stack and stack. So if you're already getting like pretty good views with anywhere between like 200 to 500 views, like you're probably gonna see that snowball like crazy once you pass that like little ticker that goes past the 1,000 mark.
I think our theory on that is like, you know, YouTube gives you the chance, right? Okay, you've put in the work, you've made it to this 1,000 subscribers. Now we're like, we can invest in you a little bit. You know?
Right.
That's true. That's true.
It makes a lot more sense. We don't know if that's true. Yeah. We have no idea, but that's just
it's so complicated.
It's how it feels.
Yeah. It's how
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I honestly I'm like an analytical person. Like I love statistics, but I just really don't analyze personally my channel's like stats. Like I don't know why, and I love like stats and stuff, but I kind of just post a video and I'm like, I don't know, I hope this does well. Like I've started to process a little bit more like, hey, I kind of know what might hit and what might miss, but I'm still gonna put it out anyways. And I've kind of like become a little bit more streamlined into, okay, you know what? I'm going to start making videos where I do want to make them, but I feel like it's actually worth making them because some people will see them. But every single time it's like, wow, how am I getting the same amount of views for 20 videos in a row? Like, this has to be something with the algorithm, but it's so complicated. I don't even want to like look into it. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, it's a big mess. And I think that's a wise take for you to, well, for anybody to take, really, because then, like, you know, it's like you said, it's something that you thoroughly enjoy doing. It's something you love to think about. You love to make these videos, love to plan them out. And so, like, putting them out there and just saying, listen, I'm just doing this because I enjoy it. Like, I don't really care what happens. Well, you know, of course it'd be awesome if it goes good. If not, I'm not hurt by it.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, because, like, me, sometimes I can get in the mindset of like, okay, you know, we're not doing as good as we should be, right? And that's a mistake. Don't think like that. That's not what's going on, you know?
Yeah, you can fall down a rabbit hole,
which is
pretty fast. I would say the one statistic that I really watch is this subscribers thing, and I kind of just pay attention to like okay, so we put out we put out a Harry Potter video and we got 9 subscribers from that video, like that day.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, people like the Harry Potter stuff. And then we put out, you know, a couple other like random ones and we lost one. And, or like it only went up by like a little bit. So people weren't like super stoked on that. We, you know, we lost one here, we lost 2 there. And so that's the only thing that I really take a hard look at is what people are enjoying and what they're not. Just so I kind of know which way to like aim our content. But other than that, I really don't watch, you know, a ton of the statistics, because I do think that you can get really bogged down in, you know, just a lot of the meta of it all.
Definitely.
The other thing that I just saw this on a video the other day, the one thing that I'm going to be paying attention to more is if you go over here to audience, and then you scroll down. We didn't have this before, so I don't know if it's only something now that we're past 1,000, but now I can see what time viewers are on.
It's pretty cool.
And so I'm going to start posting videos at noon, because it looks like everybody is on at noon.
My time is 11 a.m. That's when I post all my videos.
Nice.
Even if there's hot news at night, I'm waiting till the next morning at 11 a.m. Like every day, I just do 11 a.m.
That's cool.
I just don't really feel like checking every single day. Like I looked at it one time and I was like 11 a.m. because I'm thinking, oh, on the West Coast it's like 8, so like that's okay with me. It's like that early start to the day that works. So what the funny thing is though, like I don't want to say it doesn't matter for my channel, but for some reason, my channel's views always come in the second day. Like, even if it's hot news, it's like, oh my God, look what just happened with this. Okay, it's getting some views the first day. Then the next day, when it's technically less relevant, I'm getting more views. And I'm like, why is YouTube doing this with my, like, push it to people on the first day so I could get like a 100,000 view video.
For real.
Like, I don't understand, but But one thing I actually noticed, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I was just going to say real quick, a statistic that I thought was crazy, and then I'll close this out, is that we have a almost 30% female audience, which most guy YouTubers have like 5 or 10%. So I'm like, oh wow, we're actually bringing in the lady viewers. That's pretty cool.
They think you guys are handsome. No, that's pretty funny. No, but one thing I also noticed, like on your page just now, like the stats that you were showing, is like my version of statistics in my head is my title and my thumbnail. Like I know that I need to nail those, and I've like really started to focus on that. Not because I'm trying to use like buzzwords, but I'm just trying to make sure that it's very relevant. And the thing that I was saying about yours is I noticed that on your like 1 out of 10, like your number 1 performing video, it was like a super clean title. Like I just read Harry Potter for the first time at 31 years old. Like that's like, oh, and also like, everything's capitalized. It looks nice. It's one clean sentence across that's nice to read and that's really interesting. And it doesn't need to be like also on the end. And what did I think about it? And like, no. It's simple. It's like, this is what I did. So it's like, oh, what? Even though I'm 22, like, oh, I don't know. What was it like to read Harry Potter for the first time? And I saw you had like the castle, I'm pretty sure. Like, that's like a nice looking, like, oh, what's going on? And I feel like it's like that's why that video is number 1. So for me, I'm always trying to nail the thumbnail, even though I kind of hate making thumbnails, honestly. And the title, I try to like lock into that, but at the end of the day, like sometimes I get too caught up in it and I'm just like, whatever, this is gonna
be. You can you can probably run yourself ragged trying to perfect something, and you're like, that would be a struggle. Spencer does all of our editing, so that's he's a trooper for that. But one thing that I was just thinking about was like Spencer's different than me in this aspect too. But like, when and again, I don't read a whole lot of, I guess, paperback books. I don't really go to the library, but he is the cover is so important, right? For him, to me, it's really not. But then I thought about it in the sense of what you were just saying, and I was like, dude, the cover and thumbnail are everything on YouTube. They are like, that's
when you're in Barnes and Nobles, you can't read every description.
If you get them to click on that video because your stuff look cool, like that's it. That's what you need to do.
Here, I'll show you a couple that have performed really well because of the thumbnail. So the title is just a love letter to a masterpiece, and just leaves it at that. And then the thumbnail is Locke Lamora standing there in front of the towers in front of him, and just says the lies of Locke Lamora. It's super, super clean.
Super simple,
And you have 2 different things in the title and the thumbnail. So like you're actually utilizing the space properly.
Yes.
If you had a love letter to a masterpiece as the title, and then you had masterpiece in the thumbnail, it's like, okay,
would have been you're redundant the same stuff.
Exactly. I've noticed that also. Like, let's try to do 2 different things, or maybe if it's just something so interesting, it's like I double up, or but either way, it's just the point.
And then this is another similar one. This has gotten thousands and thousands of views.
Wow.
And it's we need to talk about Patrick Rothfuss, and it was some controversy around this author. And how many videos have you seen like this, where there's like a guy and then a screenshot that's like slightly off kilter, and it's like, it's the perfect clickbait isn't the right word, but it's the perfect like clickable video. And the thumbnail says something different than the title, like we need to talk about Patrick Rothfuss, and then that wasn't an apology. My thoughts.
You're basically saying like it was bad, but your title doesn't say that.
Come learn why. Like, it was bad. Come learn why.
And we need to talk.
We need to talk about
that's It's weird, but like the way you could like play with people's minds, like it's not like I'm trying to like hypnotize you, but it's like, I just want you to give me a chance. You know what I mean? Like,
just get in the door. Just get in the door.
That's 90% of the battle.
If you click off in 5 seconds, fine, but at least you clicked and it's like you checked it out.
Right?
That's
for
very
sure.
true.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about. I wanted to ask you real quick. So, do you read the Harry Potter books, or are you just movies?
I'm gonna be honest. I am just movies. Unfortunately, I've tried to read the first Harry Potter book like 3 times. And I've accepted I'm just not a reader. I'm going to be honest.
Have you tried audio? Have you tried audiobooks?
Not really, but I need to. Because I listen
honestly,
to podcasts, so
that's all I do.
So if
I don't read regular books ever. The entire podcast is based off our audiobooks.
Do you guys count audiobooks as reading?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was just checking like our Audible read time. Go ahead, continue. I'll tell you in a second. I got to find it, but it's crazy.
So here's the thing about audiobooks. If you like podcasts, then I almost guarantee that you will like audiobooks. And I would even start with Harry Potter. And when you go into Audible, choose the UK version, because it's just a better version all around.
Right.
And these narrators, I don't know how aware you are of this stuff, but these narrators will do different voices for each character, so it sounds like a full production in your head. And it's almost like having a movie on in the background, except you don't need to look at and it has such a way of like setting the scene inside your head where it's just perfect. I really recommend, if you're someone that's like, nah, I don't really read, just try audiobooks. You can get a 7-day, or maybe it's even more than that. I think it's a 2-week free trial of Audible.
That actually sounds cool.
And try the first Harry Potter book and just see how you feel about it, because I bet you'd be an audiobook person.
No, definitely. I know there's like a lot of stuff there too that like they left out of the movies. So just
there's so much. Sam is reading the books for the first time, and she's like, I can't believe how much is in the books. It's like, yes.
Since we started the podcast, because like I said, I didn't read or listen before we started this podcast. And I think Spencer's and mine is pretty similar because we share accounts, but continuous listening time is 7 months, 11 days, and 34 minutes.
Wow.
of like accumulated hours.
Like listening, accumulated hours of listening.
That's crazy. Wow.
It's wild to think about.
That's great though. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely good.
Yeah. Super cool.
That's great.
All right. Well, as we kind of wrap up here, we have a game that
paper for.
I'm willing.
Yeah, we have a game that we're gonna want to play, but I have one final topic. I just need somewhere to talk about this because I haven't had anywhere to talk about this for the past 24 hours.
Go ahead.
I got my very first tattoo.
Oh yeah,
I saw.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, I saw.
I am so stoked on this thing. There's a few things that I would probably change or get touched up, and I'll bring up a picture here so that everyone at home can see. But there's definitely some things that I would get touched up, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. Can you guys see it there?
Yeah, I can see it.
And so it's great. I did not know what to expect at all. I've had people tell me that it was going to hurt so much.
No.
And then other people say, nah, it wasn't that bad at all. And so I was like surprisingly anxious. Like I didn't think I was going to be anxious going in there.
Yeah.
But I was at the point where I was like you're not like visibly shaking, but you can like feel yourself have that like jitter, like that. Yeah. They're just like that little jitter.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like shaking right now. And I was worried that she like wasn't going to be able to do the tattoo because I was shaking and all this stuff. And man, I laid down and she put like the tracing thing on, there's like a stencil that they put on there. And she's like, I'm going to do the outline and that's going to be the easiest part. And I was like, okay. And so she started doing the outline and I was like, oh, that's not bad at all. And then all of a sudden, like a half hour turned into an hour, which turned into an hour and a half. And I was like, is she still doing the outline? And I looked over there and she was like coloring this bitch in with the red.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I'm like, this has not hurt like at all. There was a couple lines like on the back of my arm.
Yeah, dude, that's
like more
where like this
probably, right?
baby fat hurts really bad, and then like on the there's just like 5 or 6 spots on your body that are gonna be shitty for tattoos.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that bad. It was just like it just made my butthole clench up a little bit. It's just like, oh, I feel that a little bit.
Right. It looks good though. It looks clean.
Yeah, I love it. I think the thing that I would change is right here, where in like the mid part, the original tattoo I had shown her does not look like this. Like it's segmented, but it doesn't have this additional line here. It's all like blended together.
Right.
So I'm gonna have her go back and try to like blend that in a little bit more. And then I like this. I think the head looks perfect.
Awesome.
It is exactly how I envisioned it. And then the other thing that I would change, let me see if I can. The tail, I was kind of iffy about. I was kind of like, it looks okay. Like, it doesn't look bad. But there's just...
Oh, I just see that. Yeah, that looks a little wonky.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I think that needs to be like blended a little bit more.
I don't like the wings in a way.
Yeah,
like that. There should
like
be
the
individual feathers coming out. There should like it looks like the body's like just this one segment, which it shouldn't be.
Right.
I get
and
that,
so I want to get that like touched up a little bit and see what she can do.
Yeah,
I don't
probably
easy
can.
fix, man.
Yeah,
pretty easy fix.
Yeah. So, but overall, like I am so happy with it. Like it looks so great, and it's all like bandaged. Here, I'll get rid of this.
You got that second skin on there or what?
Yeah, so it's something they use in hospitals, I guess.
Oh, it's second skin. Yeah, it's like derma something or whatever.
wow.
But
Yeah.
They didn't give you the ink sac.
The what?
The ink sac. It's like when they put that second skin on, and then all the ink leaks out. You didn't get that.
I mean, it's in there. That's what this is.
I know, but like,
that run.
Like, oh, okay, the red leaking out. Okay, yeah.
That's all the ink, and then there's
Ink
like
and
a
plasma.
spot.
Oh
like,
yeah, so it just kind of like leaks through.
Yeah.
Like here, this line. That's not like a cut in my skin. That's like a
from the plastic.
Yeah, the plastic like wrinkled a bit, and that's all ink sitting in there, or it's blood or something. But yeah, it has not hurt at all over the past like day and a half. It hasn't been itchy.
When do you have to take that? You have to take that off and wash it with unscented soap, right? At some point, I think.
Yeah. So in a week, she said no sooner than a week.
Okay.
And then I take it off and then I wash it with unscented soap and I like moisturize it lightly. She's like, I was like, do I just like slap a bunch of like lotion on it or what? She's like, no, you want to do it like very, very lightly. I was like, okay. And so she kind of gave me the rundown, and yeah, I'm interested to see if it starts itching in the next couple days, but so far I don't feel it at all. Like it does not like I don't so it's
awesome.
It's been really, really, really comfortable, and
that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah, I'm super, super happy with it. I like the position too. Like I like because I was wearing a tank top all day yesterday and this morning, and I put a t-shirt on for this video. I'm like,
it's like centered,
that is cool. That is cool.
I like how it just kind of like sticks out from the sleeve, because my friend
like you'll see it and be like, oh, he's got a tattoo there, but we don't know what it is, right?
Yeah, like what's that?
Like, oh, here, let me show you.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super stoked on it. It went about as well as I could have projected or predicted.
Nice.
And she even told me, because yesterday it was looking really red, like bright red, just the color in general on the bird. And I was like, this looks really bright. She's like, give it a couple days, it'll kind of like settle in. And today, like you guys can even see, like it's starting to get like darker and like
definitely
like mix in with itself a little bit more. And so I'm like, all right. Cool. And now I totally get like people, I never understood how people were like, oh yeah, I just got like super addicted to getting tattoos and now I have like 10 of them.
Yeah.
I like never understood that. And I'm like, I totally get it now, because like now I'm thinking of all these other things and I'm like, I need to chill.
Yeah.
Because
it's
like
it's a really easy thing to get ahead of yourself with.
Yeah, and like I think I just like enjoyed the experience so much. I'm like thinking of all these other ones, but I don't think I've never wanted like a full sleeve or anything.
No, I feel like, dude, here's my stick. If you get a tattoo that is meaningful to you and represents something about your life, even if that covers your whole body, awesome, dude.
Yeah,
awesome.
Sure.
Just the people that go and like, I just want a smiley face on my arm right here.
I know.
Come on,
yeah.
man. Like you don't need to do that. But again, each their own, whatever. Like,
Sure.
it's cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You know, I've seen people with full body tattoos that they could tell you every inch of that story, and it's like, okay, now I understand why that was the thing for you, you know?
Yeah. Or like the people that get like SpongeBob, but he's high on weed and his eyes are all red. It's like, why do you have that?
Like, why are you acting?
Like,
you're
a drunk
14-year-old tattoo. You're 28. Come on now. Dude.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't want to get something from like a book, like I didn't want to get like a Harry Potter tattoo, because I don't know if in 20 years am I still going to enjoy Harry Potter the way I'm enjoying it right now.
That's true.
There are some book series like the Dresden Files where I would definitely get like a Dresden Files tattoo, because I've been in love with that series since I was a kid practically. But yeah, I'm like, my first tattoo at least needs to mean something. It needs to be like very, very like true to a part of my life. So I'm glad I was able to get this one. And I'm glad that they were able to copy the other tattoo so well.
It's awesome.
No, that's great.
Okay, should we play this game?
Yeah, what's this game, dude? I'm ready.
I'm ready. I've been excited to hear.
I feel like I haven't written on paper in forever, dude.
Okay, so Gabe has actually played this game many times.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna watch a trailer. And then we're going to try to guess what the Rotten Tomatoes score is.
Nice.
And we have a 10% window. And if a 10% window ends up being too wide, we can shorten it. So if you guess 65%, you go from 60 to 70, and that's your window. So you get 5% on either side.
Yeah.
And what we're aiming for is the critic score.
Okay, I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. So you get 1 point if you get the critic score, and you get a half a point if you get the audience score.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it.
So I just picked some like random trailers as I was watching the Dexter stuff, or looking at the Dexter stuff this morning. I was like, what other movies has Michael C. Hall been in lately? And somebody recommended Cold in July. So we'll watch this and try to guess what the score is. Let's see.
This is gonna be harder than I thought.
Let me know how the volume is.
Yep.
Let me know if it needs to go up or down.
Yep.
Richard. I think that's fine. Something. Creepy. Stay.
And also, just for our audience, in the final video that goes up to YouTube, I might need to like chop up these trailers and like do some things with them to avoid copyright. So if it's all chopped up and stuff, that's why. Yeah, some of it may be edited out.
Here.
His name was Freddie Russell. He's a wanted felon. You're an upstanding citizen. Sometimes a good guy wins.
What's this? That's not the guy I shot.
It's called shock. Why don't you go home and let me deal with the police work then? I hear you got you one last night.
It's not something I'm proud of.
Police want a statement from me. It's all over the school.
So what happens now?
We buried a son of a bitch.
He got any family?
A daddy in Huntsville prison. He just got paroled.
Mr. Russell, I'm sorry.
You're Dane, right? Your boy. He looks a whole lot like you, doesn't he?
He's in the house! Get back in the car.
Oh my God.
He's probably just trying to scare you. Don't let him. Look at him. Don't you worry.
That is not the guy.
What are we supposed to do now?
Look, Detective Agency. How far do you want to take this?
The cops are up to something. They use my family as bait. I want to know why.
All right, boys. It's howdy doody time.
All right.
Alrighty.
That's gonna be a tough one, but I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you have yours written down?
Yeah,
so
I mean,
we're
I wrote down my quick just
Sorry,
percentage
one sec.
guesses.
So
either,
critic.
No, you're good.
and
so it's critic
audience,
and
right?
then Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Right,
critic and
Spence?
audience.
Yeah, so write down
Um,
what you think. So basically, write down what you think the critic score would be, and then if it ends up being that the critic score is different, but the audience score fits what you wrote down, then you get a half point.
Right. Right.
Okay, so we're just
Just
writing
have
down
to write my
critics.
audience.
Yeah, just critic.
Oh, so just critics. Okay, I have my
Yeah.
critic.
Yeah,
This
I,
feels like
I,
one of these
I
trailers
did the
where,
same thing.
No, definitely. Feels like one of these trailers where it shows a lot of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
You know what I mean? Maybe
but
it's just
that's
me, but
Good for us.
But
maybe.
you know what's
Yeah.
crazy though is I looked at the comments and every single one was saying you have no idea where this movie's going. It's so
Oh.
good.
Oh,
Like
really?
it twists and
Yeah,
turns
maybe.
like crazy.
I've never even
So-
heard of it.
Me neither. I
It
didn't
seems
hear about
cool.
it till this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to watch it. I think it's on Showtime.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay,
What
I got
did-
my numbers down?
What did everybody guess? I'm between 75 and 85.
Should
I'm
I go next?
between-
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm between 52 and 62.
Okay. Okay.
77 and 82. Or
It'd be a
whatever.
factor of 10. So what was your original?
77, 87. Sorry,
Okay.
75.
Okay, got it. Okay, let's look it up. Share this tab instead.
I wrote down 82. That was my guess.
Okay. Cold in July. Let's see what do we
Wow.
got. We got 84 for a
Oh,
critic
dude,
score.
The audience score is bad. Wow.
Yeah,
Well, it
that's
gets worse.
crazy.
Wow. 84.
Wow. Okay. So
Wow, I was way off.
So I get 1 point. Gabe, you have a point, right?
Yeah, I guess 82. So
did you match the audience score, Tyler?
My audience score was 63.
So that's within 10, right? Is that how we're doing that, or no?
Is 6 or no? Yours was from 50 something to 63.
Mine was 52 to 62.
Ah,
for the critics. That was for the critics too. So I was way off.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's tough. Wow.
Yeah, that is tough.
Dude, last time we played this too, it's weird. You never expect what's going to be awesome. You know?
Right. Okay. We'll jump over here to Constantine from 2005.
Is that with Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
No? Oh no, I'm trying to think. What this would even be?
All right, let's see it. Oh, it's so small. I was like, put it back to full screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
there we go.
Better. That's better.
Cold. Sure about this? No.
Mr. Constantine, I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know the circles you travel in, the occult, exorcisms.
Easy there, hero. That's Dragon's Breath. I thought you couldn't get it anymore. Oh, yeah. I know a guy who knows a guy.
I thought that you could at least point me in the right direction.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Please.
What if I told you that God and the devil made a wager?
I've heard he's kind of like a Harry Dresden type character.
Okay.
Humans. That would be the rule.
Just influence. See who would win. Demons stay in hell. Angels in heaven. They call it the balance.
I need to see what you see.
You do this, there's no turning back. You see them. They see you.
Oh, dang.
Understand?
What? She broke the tub.
This is tough.
Yeah, this is tough, dude.
I mean, it doesn't look like a Best Picture winner, but
no,
it doesn't look like a Madam Web.
Yeah, I think the fans liked it though.
See, that's the thing is, I'm trying to think from the critic perspective.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
This is so 2005.
Yeah, for real.
Like the font.
All of it. All of it.
Man, this is tough. If we were doing letterboxed ratings, I think I'd be able to get it, but Rotten Tomatoes is like always so hard.
Yeah. What's so you can fill me in. What's Letterboxd?
You're not familiar with Letterboxd?
I don't think so.
Letterboxd is kind of like like serialized or no? Or wait, what's the one for books where like you could log all your books?
Goodreads?
Yes, it's
okay.
movie Goodreads. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I love it. It's like my favorite app.
That's awesome.
I think I have my guess.
Yeah, mine's 57 to 67.
Mine's 50 to 60.
Okay.
But I could see it being like 47. Like
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was kind of on the fence with going so high, but I'm just gonna see what happens.
If it's in the 70s plus, I'm gonna be very surprised.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's like.
Did either of you guys have 55 to 65?
No, I had 57 to 67. So
50 to 60.
You could take 55 to 65 if you want.
I'll do 52 to 62.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let's see.
See what we got.
There's no way. Please.
Telling you, even though it might not be good, that's a movie I would watch for sure. Like, I would love to watch.
It seems cool.
Yeah,
Keanu.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I love Keanu.
Okay.
I thought that was the new movie.
Oh yeah, I did.
No, that's
cool. I was like 84. Like
Dang,
really,
bro? That's crazy.
The moment of truth.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, I said 47.
Oh,
dang.
No, either way, my guess.
Oh, but the
audience.
critics audience was 72. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Dang, that was lower than I thought it would be.
That was lower than I thought it'd be too. Yeah.
Just
okay.
off.
So did anybody get the audience score either? No, we were all too low, huh? Yeah.
Too low.
Oh, dang.
All right.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do you guys want to do V for Vendetta or Nightcrawler?
Ooh.
Oh.
Those are two good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm more familiar with Nightcrawler, but I don't know if that's
Same.
like good or
Let's
bad.
do V for Vendetta. Let's try it out.
I'm
Okay.
less familiar with that, so I think that would be better.
I am too. But I know it's a great movie.
Mhm.
It's like
I just know I'm pretty sure Natalie Portman's in it, unless I'm wrong.
Yes, she is.
Same with
Okay.
the guy who played the Joker, whatever his name is, Heath Ledger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
2005 as well.
So my
I
wife's
wasn't
favorite
afraid
movies.
all the time, but I am.
I haven't seen this movie in so long.
I've never seen.
Oh, really?
People
Oh, it is
should not be
good.
afraid of their government.
Definitely on the watch list.
Governments should be afraid of their people. Those caught in violation of curfew will be prosecuted without leniency or exception. It's past curfew, you know.
Oh, I think I was wrong. Ledger. I don't think that's in here.
Mercy.
Oh, not tonight.
Who are you?
Gentlemen, I want this terrorist found, and I want him to understand what terror really means. We're working on several leads. Her parents were detained when she was 12.
It was like those black bags erased them from the face of the earth.
You have one chance. You must tell us the whereabouts of Codename V. If our own government was responsible for the deaths of 100,000 people, you really want to know? Those who are responsible will be held accountable. The time has come for you to live without fear.
I'm ready.
So sick.
Stands on the edge of oblivion.
That 2000 style is just so good.
Right.
Killing.
My turn.
Yeah, that's impressive, dude.
Yeah.
Everything was connected.
I don't know who plays like the main guy.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Hopefully they'll show. I don't know.
Ready for it.
I think the whole movie, he's kind of this mass figure. I don't know if you really ever see.
Yeah.
Kind of like the.
Hugo Weaving, maybe? Or wait, no.
Oh,
is that
maybe it
the-
is. Oh, he's in it, I guess. I mean, he plays Red Skull in Captain America.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right.
I think I have my answer, but I don't know if it's right.
Yeah. I'm gonna put. I don't want to just guess 75 to 85 for everything.
That's what mine is too. We could both go in. We could both go in on it.
I'll go. You know what? I think this movie was kind of acclaimed. I'm gonna swing for the fences. I'm gonna go 78 to 88.
Wow. Because I think it's kind of like a cult classic, but I just don't know if like, the critics actually liked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of tough.
Yeah. Now, oh man, it's
Nope,
hard to
you
decide.
made it.
Yeah,
Tyler, what
70.
you got?
Okay.
Or Ty, sorry.
Oh, I've got 75 to 85.
Okay, I'm going 76 to 86.
Ooh, we're like
Okay.
all very
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 35.
Yeah.
I know.
He's so funny, dude. Like, all right, we're not very good at this.
Yeah, we're not gonna get close.
Yeah.
Oh
Wait.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
no.
missed it by
No.
3 points.
No.
I just barely missed it.
We
I
missed the critic
missed
rating,
both of
too.
them.
Yeah,
the
I
audience
missed both of
rating's
them.
high.
Oh.
That's what we were just talking about too. It's like a
Dang,
cult
dude.
classic.
Oh man.
That's
That's
actually
crazy.
frustrating. 73.
Wow. And
We're
the
getting
critic-
close.
critic
Jeez.
score's 90, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh
All
my
right. So
God.
what's our score right now, Spencer? You and I have one,
I have one.
and I have one too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
0.
should we do one for a tough one to end it, or what's the plan?
Well, I got here, 1 second. Sure as tip. I got
get-
Nightcrawler, and then I have a superhero movie for
Ooh.
Let's do that
Tyler.
one. Let's do the. Okay. Well,
Well,
we can do
I was going to do
whatever
both of them.
Okay, let's do
because
both.
they're going pretty quick, I think.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So what's the name of this one?
Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I feel like I have my answer already. I don't know if I'm gonna be wrong.
This movie was so fucking
I'm
good.
looking for a job.
So
I'm a hard worker.
I set high goals. My motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket. So what do you say? I could start tomorrow, or even why not tonight?
No, I'm not hiring.
Go first! Go around, get a shot inside the car! Hey, back away! I got it, I'm back! Will this be on television?
Morning news. If it bleeds, it leads.
Are you currently hiring? I'm starting a TV news business.
You, get back.
I film breaking stories. Maybe you saw my item this morning with fatal carjacking.
No, I mean, I don't have a TV.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yeah, because they're GPS.
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations.
I wish Jake Gyllenhaal would go back to like doing these types of movies.
Yeah.
I know.
He does like Netflix movies now.
Yep.
What was the one he did where he had a twin kind of enemy? Do you remember? Did you see that movie?
By
That
Denny.
movie.
I have not seen it.
Oh,
Very
you have
weird.
to see it. It's like one of my favorite movies
The
ever.
thing I've
watched
been
it.
seeing with him a lot lately is this movie where he's a ward vet and he comes home to his wife. He's got
Jarhead?
Yeah.
PTSD. Yeah, it's either
For-
Jarhead or maybe even
Brothers?
something else. Brothers, yeah.
Oh,
He has
okay.
brother.
Wire.
He's in
or
a
maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Sorry, I could be thinking of.
no. He's in it with Toby, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're both in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
But he's in a new show called Presumed Innocent on
it
Apple
on Apple?
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I keep wanting to watch it because it looked really good.
Okay. Repeat the police. I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. Excuse me. I have something you'll be very excited about.
You have a good eye. I want you to contact me when you have something.
Something like this.
Think of our newscast as a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut.
You will be seeing me again.
This movie's really so good.
Home invasion.
Yeah.
You gotta call the cops. And we will, at the right time. We're gonna find the person that drove that car. Start filming.
I'm Detective Fontieri. I think you withheld information.
That would be a very unprofessional thing for me to do.
It would be murder. I want what you promised me. I want something people can't turn away from.
911, what's your emergency?
We want all of it.
Oh my God! I think Lou is inspiring all of us to reach a little higher.
All right.
All right. Ooh, what a
Yeah.
trailer! God,
Yeah.
it's
For
good.
real.
Good trailer. Jesus.
For real.
So great.
All right. I might swing for the fences this time.
I was just gonna say that too. I think
I
I'm
am
going for a
also
home
doing
run
that.
here.
I'm 80 to 90.
I'm 7 to 87.
I'm going 86 to 96.
Oh, okay.
I think this is a
Alright,
hit.
Okay.
But also, I'm giving myself a little wiggle room, like at the top. In
yeah,
case
top end.
It's
Yep.
like
Yeah.
higher 80s. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go 90, 100, but that would just be kind of stupid, honestly. But
Sure.
I'm like, I hope
Good
critics
move,
just
man.
loved
It's
this.
a good move.
I'm hoping. Let's see.
And
Uh-oh.
what are you, Gabe? 77 to 87.
77 to 87. Yeah.
That's a good guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Nice. I
Dang.
got the point, dude. I barely got that critic
Oh.
point. Holy crap.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Well done, boys.
That
Well, no,
was-
you
kinda
got you
put
got
it
the
on
audience point. You
Or
got
the
the
half-
audience
half a
point.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, same. That's what I
Ooh,
got.
yeah.
that was close.
Jeez. And what did you guess, Tyler?
My guess was 86 to 96.
Oh my God! Yeah, you just barely
I
got it.
literally
Holy
barely
shit!
made it. But my first guess was gonna be 90 to 100, which
Yeah.
obviously I knew it wasn't gonna be 100 though. So I was like, wait, that'd be
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
a pretty weird guess.
Yeah.
But had they got to lower it too much, because
For real.
Dang.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm really curious about what this next superhero movie film is.
Yeah, let's see.
Right,
That's
dude.
what's
Look
really
at the original. The original Deadpool is at 85.
wow
The second Deadpool is at 84.
consistency.
Yep.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was 42.
42. I liked it. I thought it was okay.
Dude, did this come out? Did this come out? The new
Yeah.
Quiet Place?
Yeah. Wow, it's actually pretty high.
When did this come out?
Audience- June 28th, I want to say.
Yeah, months ago.
Oh
Couple
shit!
months
I
ago.
wonder if it's still in
Yeah.
theaters.
Oh,
Dude, the
it might
Quiet-
be.
The Quiet Place movies are like my favorite movie. Like I love those movies.
They're very solid.
Yeah. Okay. So final movie.
Last one.
We're going superhero with this one.
I don't see it. I didn't see it.
I want you to guess. Do you see it?
I see it. No, we don't see the title.
Oh, it's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on. I saw the helmet.
Oh, come on. Yeah, dude.
Is that his favorite Spider-Man movie?
Probably this one or the first one.
It's been a while since I've seen these ones. I should rewatch them before I give you that answer. Because
they're so good.
I really love these when I was younger, and I'm sure I'll love them again.
I know, I'm trying.
So where you been, pal? You don't return my calls.
I've been kind of busy. Taking pictures.
I just played this game though, Spider-Man 2, all the way through. So.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
No
I
matter
played
what
Spider-Man,
I do,
Spider-Man 2. I played.
no matter how hard I try.
I want Spider-Man dead. It's the ones I love who will always be the ones who pay.
I can't keep thinking about you. I'm getting married.
I want a life.
I've never seen this trailer before.
Spider-Man. No more.
You look different.
I let things get in the way before. There was something I thought I had to do. I don't have to.
I like seeing you tonight, Peter.
Now on to the main event. Octavius is
Gonna put
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
My father never.
Crazy scientist turns himself into some kind of a monster. 4 mechanical arms welded right onto his body.
Who takes Spider-Man's pictures? Where is he?
It's taking me off your loyalty to Spider-Man and not your best friend. Bring Spider-Man to me. How do I find him? Peter Parker. Find Spider-Man, or I'll peel the
Wow, this shows the whole movie too.
Right.
This is literally plot point by plot point the entire film.
Yeah.
This is insane. It's still going.
Yeah, it's like
Literally the whole
everything.
movie
This is the end.
What the heck?
That's literally like one of the last scenes. I
Yeah.
can't believe that. They didn't
yeah.
really care back then because it was like one of the first superhero films. They were probably trying to figure
Right.
it out, but
Yeah.
I hate it when trailers do that. They show the whole
worst,
thing.
the worst.
Oh
wait, I need an answer. I have my answer.
All right, I got 87 and 97.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm close. I think that the audience is going to be very high.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to get both the critic and the audience in one range. Or I guess maybe I mean I think the critic will be high, but I don't think it's gonna be in the 90s.
I'm going same answer. 86 to 96 is last time.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
I think it is like a 91 maybe. I don't know. Because there's probably
Dang.
going to be some critics that just don't like superhero movies, but like also this is one of the greatest ever, so
For real.
it's kind of tough to say.
Okay, does anybody already have 85 to 95?
No.
Okay, I'll try that.
Right.
My 85, 86, 87, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what we are?
Yeah.
We're all there. We're all there.
We're all right there.
I could see this being maybe like a 97. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think.
Yeah, that's why
high
I
one.
chose that, dude. I was like, there's
Yeah.
potential for it. I mean, this is like one of the,
I don't know,
OG of the first superhero movies that broke the box office, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like my gut is telling me 78 to 88, but I'm
Well,
going
take it,
88,
do it.
98.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's
Ooh.
he's going with the
Jumped
crowd.
up.
He's going with the crowd.
This is gonna be funny because there's 2 Spider-Man 2s, so I gotta make
Yeah.
sure I click the right one. Italian Spider-Man.
What the heck? Weird.
What's it gonna be?
Yeah,
Tobey
it's this
Maguire,
one
there it
with
is.
Tobey.
2004.
Ready?
Oh.
93!
Yes.
We all got it.
Wow, audience score kind of low. Wow, that's great.
Yeah, that is really nice.
I mean,
for
it's
what
still
it got.
good, but wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did anybody get the audience score?
No,
I guess
got 80,
No, I didn't.
87 and 97.
Oh yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow, got the
That's surprising. I did not expect it to be that high. I'm glad I changed my
yeah.
my
Good thing you
answer.
changed your answer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dang,
wow.
that's cool.
I finished off strong at least. I got the last 2. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Right, yeah.
Happy with that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a super fun game. I always love.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
I always love playing that one. So.
Well, that's great.
All right. Well, as we wrap up here, Tyler, do you have anything coming up that you're excited about, or anything like, is there anywhere you'd like to see your channel go in the next year that you would be excited for?
Probably just a couple quick things on that. I feel like one thing that's huge is that 2024, I've said this in a couple of videos, is honestly a pretty weak year for films, in my opinion, because of the writers and actors strike last year, especially. Like, there's hitters, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been enjoying this year, but 2025 is going to be insane. And then just from there, it just seems like it's already crazy. So hyped. And it's just one of these things where, like, at the end of the day, even though I do love all films, I am like more of a blockbuster-oriented guy. So the blockbusters that are confirmed to be coming out next year are crazy. Still love my indie stuff, but I'm just saying, the one thing that I'm really looking forward to with my channel, of course, is going to be 1,000 subscribers. But one video I'm looking forward to making that, and usually with videos, I'm not going to lie, I plan like maybe a week in advance. Like, I don't really have a schedule. I'm kind of just like shooting it, whatever happens. But the one video that I've had marked on my calendar for probably like 6 months, and that I've actually put some time into, at least when it comes to watching things, is ranking every X-Men movie, which of course I had to wait for Deadpool and Wolverine to come out.
Dude.
So I've watched some of these films this year. Like, I've done a full watch through back in maybe February, March, April. Then I just rewatched recently again, like some of the hitters, just to really solidify my thoughts. Deadpool and Wolverine's been watched twice, so I'm like fine with that. So pretty much those are like the main 3 things that I'm looking forward to. One kind of more long term with 2025, short term. Well, actually, both are pretty much short term with hopefully 1,000 subscribers, and then X-Men. But yeah, that's just pretty much what I'm looking forward to. Maybe if we could do another live stream if you guys want. But
totally, bro.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick.
Absolutely.
No,
come on, anytime you want, man. Anytime you want.
But yeah, it's pretty much just with me. What about you guys? Anything? Just kind of going.
So next,
well, we do. We have a big thing coming up. Spencer will tell you.
Yeah, next weekend we have a book that we've been reading called The Way of Kings, and it's part of a series called Stormlight Archive. I don't know if you know who like Brandon Sanderson is, but he's like a big like fantasy author, and he or we have been getting asked since we started the channel to do the Stormlight Archive. And over the past year, especially, people have gotten more and more insistent. Like, when are you guys going to do Stormlight? When are you going to do Stormlight? And so we are finally doing our first Stormlight episode. So
like a review, basically?
Well, it's a discussion, like spoiler discussion. Yeah. And the Stormlight Archive is part of this bigger thing called the Cosmere, so it's kind of like the series of Deadpool movies being in the bigger MCU. Right. It's kind of like that kind of thing.
Into the pond,
Yeah. And so we previously read the rest of the Cosmere, and it all leads up to Stormlight. And so we're reading the first book in Stormlight, and that's next weekend. And I'm super, super excited to talk about it.
Cool. I'll definitely have to check that one out. That seems pretty interesting. I'm not really a reader, but still, I mean, just because it's a big event type of video. So
it is.
That seems cool.
It's really cool. It's one of those things where, I've talked to other YouTubers that are in our same kind of space with like books and fantasy and stuff. And they're like, oh, once I did Stormlight, the subscribers just rained.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So it's been a long time coming. It's been very anticipated. There's definitely some nerves going into the episode, because it's like we want to do it like perfect to make
right.
like
yeah.
We want like the definitive like Stormlight video.
Right.
So yeah, I'm hoping it turns out well, but I think we're all having a good time reading the book. So. That's been fun.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. No, it's not important.
Okay. And then the week after that, sorry, buddy. The week after that is our 1,000 subscriber live stream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's on August 10th, which is a Saturday. we'll be doing that at about noon. I think I mentioned it in our outro here in a minute too, but yeah, we have that coming up, and we're gonna have like our author friends and other like YouTuber friends on, and we're gonna play games like the one we just played, and we'll probably on our live streams, we look at like Reddit's like "Am I the Asshole?" and we try to judge people on Reddit.
Those are funny. Yeah,
I love doing that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Just like a week where we've done all the hard work leading up to Stormlight, and now we get to relax and just like drink with everybody and just hang out and have a good time. So yeah, I'm excited for that, and you're more than welcome to join for that as well. We're just having like random guests from all over the place.
If I'm free, I'll definitely let you guys know. But whenever you guys want to talk movies, I'm just not too well versed with book stuff personally.
Sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
we like to talk about everything. Like in our like episodes, we're usually talking about books, but we've had episodes where we talk about like video games or movies or just life stuff. Like
or like how much it's snowing in one place. We talked about that for like literally 4 hours. Like, it doesn't discriminate. You don't need to be a guy to come hang out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we have friends that come on the show from like all walks of
all over
life, like people that are not interested in books at all, and from all over the place. So yeah, we'd love to have you back sometime.
Oh yeah, anytime.
I was gonna ask you, do you watch TV shows? Like, do you review like full TV shows ever?
You know, it's pretty funny. For some reason, about a year ago, I pretty much just stopped watching TV shows, which sounds kind of funny. But I just kind of wanted to hone in on movies, even though they're adjacent, like they're the same space realistically. Like, but I don't know, something about like the fact that I could watch so many movies in the time span where I would normally be watching a show.
Yeah.
It just interested me more personally. And it's not like, I don't have the attention span, but it's more just like I could watch the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy by the time I finish a season of the next Star Wars show. It's just me, like, fair. But I do like check out a show I'm really interested in. Like, I really like Stranger Things, for example. More popular shows, honestly, like Marvel shows. I'm gonna watch just naturally. But and
it's probably it's probably easier for content too, right? Because then you're not having to watch like an entire show and make a video on the whole thing. You're like,
every month there's like at least lately, from what I've seen, is that every month there's a new series that came out.
June was crazy for shows. There was the Bear season 3, House of the Dragon season 2, The Boys season 4,
so, like,
and the Acolyte, the Star Wars show.
Cover, dude.
Yeah, but I technically feel like I have the time, but like I just don't really.
Yeah, dude, you want to focus on your thing. That's all good.
Like the niche more, but
totally.
No, definitely, but it's kind of just what I've been focused on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Woo. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. This has been a ton of fun.
No, definitely. Thank you guys so much for having me. Seriously, it's really been great. This talk's been awesome. That's all I have to say pretty much. Whenever you guys want to get back together, definitely just message me.
Sweet.
I'm down. So
cool.
Awesome.
All right, well, that is going to wrap us up there, everyone. Be sure to check out TyReviews, linked below. Go show him some love over there, especially if you like discussions about movies and entertainment and whatnot. Upcoming for us, I mentioned this a little while ago, but it's part of the outro, so you're sitting through it.
God dang it.
Upcoming for us is our first Stormlight Archive episode. You've all been asking for it for 3 years now, and it's finally coming, and we could not be more excited. And then after that is Sam's first pick as an official co-host.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have... I messed this up in the outro a little bit. We have our 1,000 subscriber live stream on August 10th, which is a Saturday at about noon Pacific time. So join us for that if you're watching this beforehand, or go to our live tab and check it out if you're watching this after, because I'm sure it's going to be pure chaos. I'll try to get this episode out before August 10th so that you guys see this in time, hopefully. But then after that is Sam's first pick as an official co-host. So we'll have to see what she wants to read. I think she wants to do Ninth House, or maybe the next, like the sequel to Fourth Wing or something like that. But she gets to pick for the first time as a co-host. That's going to be super, super fun. But with all that, thank you so much for watching. Go check out Tyler's channel. And until next time, all praise Marvel Jesus.
Praise.
And a big shout out to Caitlin. Thank you so much for backing us at the Greenbone tier.